Nobody else is doing anything on a Saturday afternoon, right?
Man,
A lot of wrestling tonight. You excited for all this shit, Andrew?
it is so much stuff happening, bro. It is so much stuff happening in wrestling. I know people say it's like a cliche thing. It is a good time to be into wrestling,
It really
covering
is.
wrestling, be a wrestling fan.
Yeah, it really is. So much. There is a lot of good stuff going on, and all these companies working together is fun. And yeah, it sucks that the top company sucks.
They're like the only ones that refuses to be in on the fun.
Man, and that segment last night.
Oh my goodness. I saw
Jesus.
the report
Yeah.
about I think I
Hello.
saw it last night
Fightful
before I went to
Faith.
bed. The story about Charlotte and Becky.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
Dodo Barky or back Rye. Appreciate the follow. JJ, what's going on, buddy? How you doing on this Saturday? Man,
Hey Jeremy, can you see me?
I can't see you. No, you don't have your cam on. You just have the usual picture that you have, the goat picture.
That's weird.
I don't have my cam on. Maybe that's what it is. Can you see me now?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay. No, you don't have your cam on.
That's so weird, bro.
The people
Hold
can
on.
hear you. They can't see you.
Please don't tell me my laptop messing up on me.
Andrew, you
Oh,
always
my
got some
goodness.
tech issues.
Always, bro. It never fails. It's like the stream y'all don't want me to make it. This might be the time to put in my Oh, it's telling me okay. Let's see who we're working with StreamYard.
What up, baseball's best? Yes, the Nets won. I watched that game last night. Nets and Sixers.
Ah.
They had no business winning that game, but they did.
Okay,
Ricardo, what up, buddy? JJ, how long did the grin end up going? I was there for the first 3 hours, and then I tapped out. I assume.
am I here now?
Let me check. No, I still have no video.
I could see myself on the thing. Oh my goodness, bro, what is going on with the Skype?
Do you want me to call you back?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get back. Always some type of issues here. Hey!
Let's get it. I knew it was some of my end because it was on my hold on, because I'm gonna got this thing.
Oh, okay. You got a new camera?
It's like this super HD camera thing, but it was on that setting. That's why, and it wasn't on the laptop setting.
Gotcha.
Bro, have you seen that show You on Netflix?
Oh, dude, I just started the 3rd season today. Yeah, I watched the first 2 seasons like right when they came out, and like I'm so behind on like all types of television. I finally caught up to the challenge today, and then I decided to start on You, and yeah, I was
I'm
on.
gonna drink a Coors Light.
Appreciate the bits, Antoine.
That's a Coors Light because Bud Light won't pay me nothing.
Yeah, so I decided to start You a little bit. I haven't even made it through the first episode, which again goes to show you just how far behind and how little I'm like actually watching TV. But yeah, have you watched it?
I'm on season 2, episode 5 right now. Bro, I cannot believe this. Like, bro, this dude, I've never seen somebody have so many happy accident murders.
Yes.
Like, he cannot stop. Like, it is ridiculous. Like, the dude, when he was helping in season 2, when he was helping the girl, Ellie,
Yeah.
15-year-old girl, and like he broke in that dude's house, and then he was like, he got in an argument with him, and like they got like physical, and it was like he wasn't supposed to hurt him, and then he ended up killing him. I was like, oh, what in the hell, bro? This show crazy as hell, man. I could not believe it. I say, but the challenge. So you all caught up on the challenge?
Yes, I'm caught up on the challenge. I watched this week's episode earlier today. I'm glad. I like that they broke from the teams and went into the, what do they call the groups,
sales.
Essentially. Yeah, cells. Yeah. They went into that. Like, I think that's fun, and that you can like infiltrate any cell that you want is kind of cool. I'm glad that like the vets are starting to go after each other,
bro,
a little bit, because like those first few weeks, man, it's like, all right, rookie team, throw them in there, like, here we go. It's like, come on now.
That's all they did the first like 4 or 5 weeks of the show, was talking to Rick.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you think about it, it is a smart move. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, if that was probably anybody in that position, like, they probably would have been the vet versus rookie thing. But I'm glad Priscilla made that move, because she kind of shook up the game a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, she changed the whole game and like sort of made everybody get to it right away, instead of to the point where they, instead of where they was. I feel like they was going to drag that out the whole way until it was just no rookies left completely. It was going to be all vets.
Yeah, I thought it was too, and fortunately it got much better. We've turned JJ into a challenge fan. I don't think JJ had ever watched the challenge, and then we did a podcast with the preview, and now he loves the season. I don't know if he loves the season, but he's watching it.
Bro, the challenge is literally one of the best shows.
It's tremendous.
Of all time, bro. Have you ever watched the All-Star shows, or you don't
Oh,
really
yeah. I watched the first season. Have they done a second season?
Yeah, it's coming out soon. I'm looking at the TV because
I didn't know if it was out yet.
I think it's coming out. It's not out like yet, I don't think, but it's coming soon.
Okay.
I say, did you get a chance to see any of the NBA games?
Oh yeah, I watched.
You see that boy Steph Curry? They gonna stop.
Man.
They gonna stop disrespecting that man. I'm telling you, people gonna stop playing with him, bro.
He didn't even like shoot well in game 1 and still had a triple double, and then game 2, like, he shot really well.
But he torched the Clippers.
He's insane.
He torched them.
He torched,
and I was talking to my dad about this earlier. We was like, with the Clippers. See, the thing about them is, like, I don't know if they got like that inner like team hunger to like go super far or super deep. Like it like the team, like I don't know. It's something that's not clicking with that team. Like, they're good. It's nobody that can say they're not good. They're a good team, but like I just can't see them like going deep in the playoff, or even at least just making it to the finals. Like I just can't see it. I can't see it. I don't know what it is. Like, maybe they just need Kawhi back, but
I don't think they're getting him back until the playoffs at earliest. So.
Oh yeah, he did have that. What was the ACL surgery?
Yeah, so I don't know when he's gonna be back.
Man, you wanna know who's gonna be serious? Just wait till Golden State get Klay back.
Oh, dude, people were really sleeping on Golden State this year because they finished. I mean, they technically didn't make the playoffs last year, so people were like, oh, I don't know about that. But I like the moves they made in the offseason. Getting Klay back is obviously going to be a big boost. And I mean, Steph is still Steph. Like, people, I understand because they didn't make the playoffs last year, people want to be like down on Steph, but that man is a problem.
The thing is about Steph, like, I legitimately, I mean, people have been saying this for years, but I don't think there's like a way to truly check him. There's no way.
No.
It's impossible. Like,
No.
I think at this point, like, it's just, you try to throw your hand up and try to guard him as best as possible, because he gonna get his shots off, and most of them, I'd say about 7 times out of 10 they're going in. And then like I like watching Houston with Jalen Green and Josh Christopher. They like, I've been following the Baller's Life page for a long time, and they, like, I've seen them through that page since they were like in middle school, and like to see them like now in the league, it's ridiculous, bro. Like, I feel like they're gonna be solid. But the thing about them is, like, I feel like the Houston team, or the management, they're really focused on Jalen Green, and I don't think they realize how good Josh Christopher is. So he's like getting some like garbage minute games, stuff like that. Like, I forgot who they played recently, but he got in like the last 3 minutes. I think when Houston was either down, they was down like 15 points or something like that. And the game was basically over. He came in there, he had to play real good in those garbage minutes. But yeah. I feel like they sleeping on the fact that if you put them two together, like on the floor, they'll be really good. Cause like I don't think there'd be anybody that'll have better chemistry than two people who have been playing ball with each other since they were in grade school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're legit friends. So like I you know, or there's somebody Antoine 25 just said I feel that same way about Mikey Williams. Mikey like he's a bucket. Like I like him because he's like intense. I like people that play physical and like they're not all like buddy on the court. Not saying you gotta be like disrespecting somebody all the time, but like I just like people that just play physical and they like talk trash and all that good stuff. It's cool. So
I watched some of Houston last night because they played OKC and then it became a blowout and I was like, well, I don't really feel like watching this anymore. But yeah, Houston, like these young teams, like they're not going to be good. I think Houston got whooped in game one and everything. But I like watching, like when Ja came into the league a couple years ago. Like I liked watching him play. I remember you were very high on Ja.
Yes.
And like I liked watching him play. And then now, like, you watch him, and he's like, oh, shit, this guy.
He's a star.
Dude, he's so fun to watch. So fun to watch.
He came into his own, man. He came, like, you saw it, like, gradually. Like, he just came into his own. So it's cool. It's cool to see him take off. Like, I think he might have to leave Memphis in order to obtain, like, a championship or, like, go, like, in a deep run in the playoffs. But Ja Morant's a good player. I mean, he don't have to leave Memphis, but they can just build around him. But I feel like they got too many missing pieces that they need. They definitely need like a secondary main player scorer to sort of give Ja a break.
Yeah.
Because he's like the key piece. Like if most of the time, if like he not facilitating or, you know, he not getting buckets up or he just causing a distraction by being on the floor, then like, you know, they getting up shots, but it's not like assisted as if, you know, if he was on the floor.
Right.
And I saw
I like Jaren Jackson Jr. on that team.
He's good.
I think he's good. Yeah, but they don't have like a second like ball handler and creator that you would want. And maybe they'll get one in the draft coming up, but he's definitely somebody you could easily build around.
Mm-hmm. No, he is good. Jaren Jackson Jr. is good. And say I saw I was looking at the schedule for tonight. He planned to play. Jeremy, I don't know what you think. You think that he could go back to the finals? I can't see it. I feel like that bubble season. I feel like it was. I feel like they were just in the right place at the right time. Like I can't see them going back to the finals. I feel like the Bucks going to two-peat it. Especially if Giannis got his jump shot right.
Yeah, it's a tough challenge for Miami because the bubble season, it is what it is. But I do like what Miami did in the offseason. Like, they're going to be very annoying to play against. And, I mean, Butler, Bam, Lowry, if Oladipo can kind of get healthy and be that guy off the bench, and he's good, like PJ Tucker, Marcus Morris, all these guys are just, like, very annoying to play against. And then they got Robinson and Hero who can get hot at any time. Like, I like that team. It's tough for me to say that they're better than the Bucks or the Nets, especially like a healthy Nets team. I don't know if they're going to get Kyrie all season, but still, you have Kevin Durant, James Harden. That's a problem.
Bro, I remember I was literally talking to you about this this had to be like last week.
Yeah, we were talking about it.
They need Kyrie. Like I'm not saying it in the sense to where they can't score without Kyrie, but he's like when you get that type of, like, you got Kevin Durant probably most likely will go down as one of the, if not the greatest scorer to ever come through the league from his position standpoint. And you got Harden, who's unstoppable in his own right on the offensive end. But like when you add a key piece like Kyrie in the point guard position who can facilitate the ball, he can score on his own, he creates space. When you got those three all together, it's too difficult. Like I remember what was that when they played the Bucks last year? I think James Harden, I think he had like a hamstring injury or something like that. Yeah. Like he was hurt. So like it was just essentially Durant and Kyrie. But then when you got all three of them together, it's a problem. Like cause then they like you can still score in the Nets. Like it's not like the Nets like some super defensive team. You get buckets on them with no problem. But see the thing is, every team is not going to be able to go 125 every night with Kyrie, KD, and Harden. It's you just can't. It's not going to happen every night. So I think that's one of their biggest advantages is having the option of 3 people that can go get 30 at any time they want to. But then the Kyrie not out because he don't want to get the shot. So it's like, damn.
I don't know if Kyrie's gonna play at all. Like I really don't. Because I don't know if he's gonna get the shot. Like
I don't think he is. I think he's like dead set in like what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like I mean, because I know he's losing money too, right?
Yeah.
Or game checks.
They're not paying him. He's not there.
Boy, Kyrie, if you don't get his shit together, man, stop playing. Say, what do y'all think about Kyrie? What do y'all think about the NBA 75 greatest players Kyrie left off? I mean, like, I think that's a rough thing to have to like break down, like, especially because I read a Sports Illustrated article. I think the writer's name was like Howard Beck or something like that, or Beck Howard, one of those. Howard Beck, if you're watching this and I got your name wrong, I apologize. But yeah, he like wrote about the selection process and like how difficult it was to sort of narrow it down. Like it was some great players that got left off that list, like Penny Hardaway, T Mac got left off the list, Grant Hill got left off the list, Dikembe Mutombo got left off the list. Like it's so many great players. Yeah, my bad, John. You good?
No, you're fine. The thing with that is like, all right, if you think that Kyrie should be on the list, who are you taking off?
Exactly.
Like, you got to take somebody, and I don't know. There's some guys on there that I've never seen play, even in like highlights. I've never seen them play. So like, I can't judge if these players are like any good or anything. But you've got to, if you're gonna put him on the list, you got to take somebody off, and that's what way too many people just don't take into account. And like, oh, this person should have made it. This person should have made it. It's like, okay, well, if that person makes it, who are you taking off then? Nobody wants to say who they would take off. Like I wouldn't put Kyrie. I wouldn't put Kyrie over like the guys you mentioned, like Tracy McGrady. I don't think I'd put him over Tracy McGrady.
Exactly. Like John, imagine if we got like a survey and we had to narrow it down to the 50 greatest professional wrestlers of all time. But that's difficult. That's difficult to put together because number one, it's people that were wrestling back in the 50s, in the 60s that we have no clue about.
Yeah.
Like I mean, you have limited footage. And then, like, going back to the NBA thing, it's like, even with me, like, if I had to narrow it down, with the Wilt Chamberlains and the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars, like, I didn't get to see them play. Like, I got to see LeBron's whole career. I saw Kobe's whole career. Like, it's, most of Kobe's career, I should say. But, yeah, man, I think that's just a real difficult thing to, like, narrow down. And, yeah, and he said, Antoine said, because of injury, I can see Penny, same with Derrick Rose. Yeah, I think that's the same. I think you can kind of lump Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill, and Derrick Rose in that same thing. Like if there's one thing I wish I go back, I wish Derrick Rose could at least got one championship, just one, because that would have stamped him in. That would have stamped him in right there if he could have got one.
I mean, he got an MVP, and like the fact that an MVP was left off is tough. And Kyrie, like. Well, I think the world of Kyrie as his skills wise.
But he's a great player.
Yeah, but like he doesn't have that many individual accolades. He obviously has the championship and he has that shot. No one's ever gonna take that away from him. Mm-hmm. But like he doesn't have many individual accolades outside of that. It's not like he's ever won a scoring title. Tracy McGrady's won a scoring title. It's not like he's got an MVP. Derrick Rose has won an MVP. Like he just doesn't have that many individual accolades. It comes down to he's very skilled and he has that title and he has that shot. But like I'm not the biggest Kyrie fan is like, if that's your number one guy, you're a title team. Because when he was the number one guy, even like Boston, like that the situation with Boston didn't really work itself out too well. I think the Kyrie thing is really just Iguodala drummed that up with his comment. Like if Iguodala doesn't say anything, nobody's Kyrie Irving got snubbed here. Oh, Iguodala is the one who said like Kyrie's not on this list. Like I think Iguodala said he's like top 25 or something. I was like, what?
Because I think it's different, like from his position. Because like he's played against Kyrie multiple times, and I think he knows how hard it is to guard him. Like I Jeremy, I legitimately think that there's very few people in this league that can stay in front of Kyrie and stop him from getting to the basket. Like you go back and you could look at any of his highlights or even just watch him in game, some of his like full game stuff. He's legitimately like one of the hardest players to like stay in front of. Like he loses people with the swiftness. And like I definitely think that he has the best handles in the league. That's not even a question.
All right, no idea why one player is on here, and then I also have a black screen right there. Try to fix this and sort this out here, everybody. I don't know if I need to change my user. All right, fair. Let's just quit and try to get back into the game. You can see the screen, right, Andrew?
Yep, yeah, I can see it. I got the Twitch stream pulled up anyway.
Okay, I'm trying to sort this out.
I was gonna get your Slammiversary. I mean, I said Slammiversary. Jesus Christ, bound for glory predictions. We got the tournament. Let me throw this in the chat. All right, they can hear me. Going along with the predictions, we got the Impact Digital Media Championship, the 6-way intergender match with John Skyler, Crazy Steve, followed by Jordan Grace, Chelsea Green, and Madison Rain.
I think it's going to Jordan or Chelsea. What do you think?
I definitely see Jordan or Chelsea. Or yeah, because Tennille got replaced, right?
Yeah, Tennille got replaced by Madison.
Did they ever come out why, or they just said she's got replaced?
Yeah, it just said she got replaced as far as I remember.
Okay. And then we got Christian Cage versus Josh Alexander for the Impact World Title. It's time. It's time.
I would be very stunned if Josh Alexander does not win. Very stunned.
Over or under on the odds of Strowman confront Josh Alexander post match?
I would also be very stunned if we don't see Strowman at this event.
Yeah, bro, Josh Alexander, he's had like a great year.
Yes.
Like he has had a great year in ring. Like he really has. And I always like seeing where wrestlers come out of tag teams and then they just like take off on their own. Hey, that's no slight. I think Ethan Page is doing some really good stuff too. But like it's like real cool seeing Josh Alexander like do his own thing, because like even when him and Ethan Page were teaming, I felt like people sort of more so paid attention to Ethan because he had more personality. And like just seeing where Alexander is now, it's about to be crazy. Okay, we got what's next up for the chat. We got Deonna Purrazzo versus Mickie James for the Impact Knockouts title.
I think Deonna is keeping the belt.
I agree. I think she's holding up to the belt. I can't see Mickie taking the title off her. No. I can't even see Mickie like wanting to take the title off her.
Yeah,
Mickie don't seem like this type of person. JJ said we're getting Strowman. Not sure how his appearance is going to fit. Yeah, I don't know how they gonna get around. I mean, you could just easily do like him popping up at the end of the show. Like I don't think Strowman, because Jeremy, I know you probably saw the interview Strowman did with the Sports Illustrated outlet when he was like he you can tell he's like all over the full-time thing. Like that's not that's not something he's looking for. So I mean, I think Impact is probably the perfect spot for him. Like he come in, do the tapes every 3-4 months, and then go on about his way.
I think that's probably the best thing, because it sounds like he's enjoying his freedom outside of WWE, and he wants to do stuff like another Control Your Narrative, and he wants to continue to do his mental health app, and he wants to continue to play with rhinoceroses and elephants and stuff. Like he seems like he's very much enjoying that stuff. So I think Impact's a good landing spot for him. SB3 mentioned the possibility of Bray would have to get out of his 90 days a little bit early, because I don't think it expires until next week. But Bray, Redbeard, and Braun being like debuting tonight as the new big group.
Mm. Oh, that'd be cool. I think Bray, like he's like one of those like, and I'm not calling him weird, but like just the way that people react to Bray. Like there's some people who legitimately cannot stand his character or the stuff he's presented, and then there's people who like love what he does. Like it's so weird, man. Like, I think Impact might be the right spot for him. Like I mean, for AEW, like I'm just wondering, like, what would you do with him? Like, I feel like the only thing, and I was talking to Sai about this. I was like, I feel like the only thing that's so obvious in AEW is for him to assume the role as the leader of Dark Order. I mean, it is sort of basic, but like at the same time, it's just like I can't figure out like what would you possibly do with him. But I mean, they got Malachi Black and Andrade teaming up now, so or they working together or have some type of understanding. So I mean, I guess you could just throw him in something.
Sorry, I'm trying to get the PlayStation to work correctly.
Oh, it's
It has me logged in on both of my usernames, which is obviously not what I want. I like to just be logged into one of them, because otherwise it's trying to recognize that two controllers are playing.
JJ says Josh Alexander versus Braun Strowman shouldn't be Josh's first defense. I think you can build that up for the next actual pay-per-view, not an Impact Plus special. That's smart. I definitely wouldn't go Braun and Josh right off the bat. Like I feel like you get like a couple like Impact Plus matches out of Braun before you go the route of him even challenging for a while. I don't even think he would need the world title per se. Like I think it would be cool to tease that match, but like, I mean, I feel like Josh Alexander is your guy. Yeah, I think that's the guy they're looking for.
Down to the big man up front.
I think that with Alexander, it's a shame that Christian got the belt on Kenny because, no offense to Christian, but like he's not Kenny Omega. And I think it would have been a bigger deal if
Josh got it.
Josh, could have beaten Kenny.
Yeah. I also think that comes down to like whether people want to call it that or not. Like I think that's more so of a thing where like you can see Tony Khan being like, well, if Kenny's gonna lose the title, it's gonna be to a guy that's that's under contract to be opposed to Alexander getting that win. But I mean, that's what comes with it, I guess. Like, but I'm really surprised they still haven't gone the route of having like more women involved in this like exchanging of talents as far as like the AEW and Impact thing. Like I would think a Deonna Purrazzo thing would be for sure. Or like I'm surprised they never went. I'm surprised Fire and Flavor never made it on the AEW TV.
It's been so weird that they've had no women involved in this.
Yeah. Hey, Jerm, quick take. Do you think there's a possibility? Because I see this is I hate being this guy. Like everything's a work, but like, do you think that there's a chance that the Becky Charlotte stuff, like Becky is just smart enough to get the people going, or do you think that's like legit, like 100% legit?
It feels kind of legit. It feels kind of legit.
Like, I mean, because I definitely believe it's legit, but like a part, like it's that thing in my mind that's like Becky Lynch is very smart. Yes. She is smart, bruh. She's very intelligent. She knows wrestling. She very much knows wrestling, and she knows what gets people riled up. But at the same time, I could definitely see like Charlotte with the argument of she doesn't want her character to look weak or her title reign to look weak. But I mean, both of y'all look weak because y'all just changing the titles. Yes. And I mean, like I'm trying to figure out how they didn't go the obvious route of Bianca winning the title and then Sasha winning the title and then they going on their side.
That seemed to be the easiest thing to do, and they just didn't do it because apparently Charlotte said that she wanted to lose to Bianca.
It's a smart thing. I feel like the crowd kind of like on Raw. I feel like the crowd was kind of anticipating the title change. That's what they kind of wanted. So you would think the obvious, like, but the thing about like Bianca Belair is, man, I feel like they know how good she is, but I feel like it I can't say they're not gonna go all the way. I mean, obviously they went all the way with her as far as giving her, she got crowned at WrestleMania. But like, I feel like they like, man, you got a talent like that, bro. Like even I know you saw the match at Crown Jewel. Like she stood out. Like and Sasha and Becky did some great stuff too. But like Bianca, like she was kind of like the glue of that match.
Right.
And she did like all the power spots. She put out some hella athletic stuff that I know I probably threw a hip out trying to do. Like she is crazy talented for somebody that's only been wrestling for like 5-6 years. She's really good. And like I don't know what it like. I just feel like the obvious thing to just put the title on her. Sasha's going to SmackDown. You put the SmackDown title on her, and then you had them go their separate ways. And then like you could do a rematch from WrestleMania, the thing that people was expecting at SummerSlam. And then now you don't have to do a title switch. You just and once somebody loses, they go in their respective ways. Boom. I got a question for the chat and for you, Jerm. If Roman Reigns is facing Big E at Survivor Series, who's going over?
I mean, Roman's going over, unfortunately.
Ooh.
I mean,
Boo.
Look, I'm with you, but they ain't beating Roman.
Yeah, I know.
They're just not going to beat that man.
Yeah, they ain't beating Roman, bro. But I swear I thought because I remember because I had wrote about this because it was like a couple weeks ago on Raw. They had said the Usos had confronted Big E and Drew McIntyre on Raw, and it was like the winner of the Crown Jewel match was going to face Roman. But now I feel like they might go another route. But I mean, they probably just ain't announced it yet. So, oh man, JR got skin cancer.
Yeah, I saw that.
Damn. Well, wishes to the GOAT, man.
All right. For the love of God, please work.
So we got Dynamite tonight.
You're not going to watch the encore presentation of SmackDown?
Hell no. I'm good on that. Bro, John, you want to know the crazy thing is, bro, SmackDown, they literally have all the tools to present a good weekly show. Like on a weekly basis. They just like choose not to.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, they can present a good show both Raw and SmackDown. They're just like, let's just run the same match that we've already seen a million times before.
Jared, what you think about Mustafa Ali?
I think it sucks that they have no idea what to do with him.
I don't know who looked at him and was like, hey, he's a heel. Where do you see heel in this man at all?
The thing is like he can be a heel. It's better if he's better as a babyface. He's a very good babyface, but he can be a heel. I thought the Retribution stuff could have been something. It's just they did what they did with that.
We need Shane McMahon to tell us it's the land of opportunity.
I wonder if this remote is connected. I wonder if that's a thing.
Do any of you guys in the chat see Kevin Owens or Johnny Gargano leaving?
Oh, Owens is out 100%.
Oh yeah, I think Owens is.
He's gone. I think
you can see that. Oh, I think Owens is like clear as day. Like as soon as he get the chance, it's over. Yeah. He gone. I mean, he had a good main roster run for the most part. Like he had some shitty moments that wasn't really his fault. Like even that, bro. You wanna know what's funny? Like I see a lot of people talking about Kevin Owens' Universal title reign, but that was the worst Universal title reign I've ever seen out of any of the runs, and it wasn't his fault. Like the way he was booked, it was atrocious. And then they got squashed by Goldberg, like at the end of it. Like it was like, I don't know why people think fondly of that. Like maybe because he did have some good matches along the way. Like he had that Hell in a Cell match with I think it was with Rollins in 2016. But like that run was atrocious. Like he was booked like the most cowardly champion I've ever seen. Like it wasn't even like dastardly cowardly. It was just like he was just the worst. But I mean, that wasn't his fault. But yeah, at least he'll always have the fond NXT memories. Here you go. You always have NXT. Hey, Jeremy, have you heard anything about Triple H, like him? Because all I heard was the Carmelo Hayes interviews, and like he's saying Shawn Michaels is there, but like Triple H isn't there essentially. So yeah, first of all, I hope everything's good with him. But like, damn.
I don't know what's up with Triple H at all. There's been no updates. Hopefully he's good and he'll be back and running the show a little bit.
I wouldn't even want to fucking go back.
I was about to say he's gonna go back and be like, what is happening here?
Like Triple H had the Super Indie going for like 4 years.
Yeah. And
they just took it away, and now NXT is like full. Like that show is like full developmental now, bro. Yeah. Like it's like, Jeremy, what do you do with like the Io Shirai's, the Tommaso Ciampas, the Pete Dunnes, Kyle O'Reilly's?
I put them. I mean, I think you gotta. I think like O'Reilly's out. I don't know when his contract's up, but it feels like he's out. Ciampa might stay there as like a player coach kind of guy. I think Io should be on the main roster. I think she should have been on the main roster a long time ago, honestly. But it is it's tough because they tried to build the Super Indie, and then a bigger, better Super Indie came along, and now it's like, oh shit, now they're doing whatever they're doing with 2.0. What do you think of 2.0? Like I admittedly I have not watched too much of it because I can't really like get into it, man.
It's not. I don't think it's meant to cater to us. Like it's a developmental. Like it's development. It's basically what NXT was in 2012, 2013, but now it's on TV.
Right.
Like that's legitimately all it is. Like I'm not gonna lie. I'm all in on Tony D'Angelo. Like
everyone seems to be in on Tony D'Angelo.
Give him everything. Like give him everything. Like the whole bribing the referee, like trying to bribe what's the backstage interviewer's name? I can't remember her name, but
Mackenzie Mitchell.
No. Okay.
That's the one I remember.
And her name's Samantha Irvin. That's her name. Yeah, Samantha Irvin. Like him trying to bribe her, doing this whole thing. Like he put the producer in the trunk of the car, all that stuff. Like Tony D'Angelo, that's a good developmental character. Like, and it's funny because he got over a pure sarcasm. Like I'm talking about from people on social media. Like I think people were supporting him sarcastically, but then like he really. People was like, oh, I really like this, and now they really like him. But yeah, NXT 2.0. I've come to understand that this is not catered to me. Like I don't really like care about it per se. It's just some cover. But I mean, I like seeing Carmelo Hayes. I'm glad he's getting his shine because he's really good. So it's gonna be interesting to see how he sort of grows from where he is now. Are you playing online?
No, I'm doing franchise mode. So last time, I finally got this damn thing to work. So last time I played, we did an all-time fantasy draft, and I ended up with Shaq and Penny. I took Shaq first and ended up getting Penny in the second round, and then just kind of built around those two. We did 36 teams, so there's 6 expansion teams, and I ended up picking Honolulu as the expansion team. So brand new team. It's all-time draft here. Everything looks like Lillard. So no, I'm not playing online. Just continuing the franchise mode that I started last time.
So Lillard just jammed on y'all.
No, this team's nice though. Like we lost our first game, unfortunately, but oh wow, very late. Yikes! It should have been easy. We lost our first game. We won our second game. Game 3.
Let me see. JJ said I haven't watched NXT since the episode where Keith Lee vacated at North America. Dang.
Boy, that's over a year ago.
I'm watching next week because it's Halloween Havoc.
Yeah, next week Halloween Havoc looks like that looks like a really big reset show.
Yeah. You think Ciampa losing the title?
I think so. Like, if you're gonna go with Braun, just like go ahead and strap him up.
Hey, Joe, I like Braun Breaker.
I mean, he's everyone.
I don't know why. Oh, that was a nice step back. He missed it though.
Thank you, David.
A high percentage shooter inside. That's exactly where you want to get Randall the ball.
Shaq versus Will. This matchup. I don't know how much of using Shaq.
To Chamberlain. Pass to Lillard from deep three-point range. Again, the miss by Lillard.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
To the side. I forgot you could do this.
The shot was way off. My timing was just garbage. I don't know if it's
All the
lag or what.
analytical guys
Play
from the
is
mid-range.
horrible.
Outside Jefferson. And the three ball is good.
Wide open shots are just completely missing.
Reminding us of his great ability to pass the rock.
Now here's Hardaway. Second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2.
You see, I was pissed when Lee vacated the title. I was telling NXT wasn't fun to watch. They had no plans, which is the case minus Rex Steiner. With Keith Lee, man, like it's like
Here's Lillard.
I saw Booker T's comments when he was like he don't know if he can trust Keith Lee. Like
Booker T sucks.
Bro, I feel like Booker, he got to be doing a bit at this point. Like, it's no way. It's no way, bro.
Dude, I don't know if it's a bit or what it is, but it sucks. Like, it really sucks.
Like, the thing about Booker, like, I always see him critiquing black talents. Like, I don't know why he continuously does that. Like, even the thing with Big E last year, when Big E first went on the singles run.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, you know, he needs to stop, like change his ring gear and do like a full reset of his character and all that stuff. And like, I'm like, that would probably be like the worst thing for Big E is to change what got him to this point and it got people to like him in the first place. I feel like that would just be a detriment to his character, and then he probably wouldn't even be champion right now if that was the case. I feel like a heel run would have done more damage. Like, but like Booker, man, like I don't know what it is with him. Like I always see him, like always on his podcast critiquing black talents. Like he goes like overboard with it, and I'm like, you supposed to be like he is a legend, but like in the sense of he is a legend, but like you would think he would be one of the ones that's so up for lifting up black talents. Like he would be a game for it and like always support. Like it ain't nothing wrong with constructive criticism. Like that's cool. But like he sometimes I feel like he just says shit just to say it.
100%.
like
100%.
like with no like actual thought behind it. Like he's just like, oh yeah, this came to my mind and this is how I feel at this exact moment. So let me just go ahead and say it. I'm like, I don't think he like truly thinks about what he's saying. He was like, but basically what I got from his Keith Lee comments is like he said he doesn't know if Keith Lee can be trusted because of the health scare he had. And I'm like, I mean, you can't really sit here and say he can't be trusted because he had a health issue. And I'm like, first and foremost, kudos to WWE's medical staff for actually catching that. Cause like Keith Lee said, it could have been worse if they wouldn't have caught him. But like, but look at T, like again, I think he just said shit just to say it at this point. It's corny as hell.
It's horrible, and like I stopped even listening and transcribing that stuff because I'm not even trying to give him like that love, because it's just other people are gonna do it and that's fine, but like,
hey John, you know Devon Dudley still going on about the
oh yeah, Devon is every single time, like I know you listen to that table stuff, every single time he mentions something like, oh, the sheets are gonna say this, they're gonna do this, they're gonna say I said this, like dude.
Hey, you wanna know what's funny, bro? You know that started because of
I know. It's tremendous. It's honestly tremendous. can't even do that.
Oh my goodness, bro! Like I swear, every time I listen to his podcast, I always laugh because I know that the reason he talks about that is because of me and you.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh my goodness, bro! Like, no, but see, the first thing, you remember the first thing I wrote about that, right? When I was like, he said that he was off because he had like, and that's all I wrote. I was just like, he had a health scare, and I left it at that. And then I don't know where he read. He must have read it from some other website, but I don't even think he. I think he sort of like got it in his head that like people were like, oh yeah, somebody said it's like this major thing. I didn't read anything where anybody said that. I think everybody kind of wrote the same thing about like what he publicly said on the podcast.
Right.
And like that's it. And then like now every time I listen to his podcast, he's like, yeah man, the sheets trying to get me. They said I got one foot in the ground.
So dumb.
Devon is hilarious, man. Devon, he did that whole ordeal when he was like, he said that. What he was talking about? He was like, somebody was trying to like call him out or something like that about his sexuality and some shit like that.
Oh yeah, he said like the sheets won't like say I'm gay or whatever. And,
I was like, Devon, come on, bro. Like,
dude, I wrote that article. I wrote the article that Devon said.
I was like, Devon, come on, man. Like, chill out, bro. Chill out. And like, but see, the thing is,
bad over what the sheets do.
Bro, where's the publicity when we cover his interviews? I said, where's the publicity when we cover his interviews?
Yeah.
Like, where's
Talented, driven.
Devon is hilarious, though, bro. He hilarious. Of course, and ill will with Devon. Devon, the man, but. Hey, Jeremy, what do you think about the word dirt sheet?
I don't like it, and I don't like it because, like, you know, people try to do good and like hard work. Like, you know, Sean actually double, triple, quadruple checks his stuff. I know Pollock is the same way. Like, they're not gonna put something out there that's not. It's reported, but people think it's dirt sheet because that's just a term that's been around forever, and so they won't come off of it. Even like with what we do, we just listen to interviews and transcribe it, and it's like we post it. We don't have sources. We're not going out there and like, you know, reporting all this backstage news and stuff. It's like, you literally said this shit. Like, what do you mean the dirt sheet said I said this? Like, no, you literally said this and we just wrote about it. Like, that's it.
Yeah, see, that is hilarious. He's talking about the sheets. Hey, bro, I swear that's exactly how it is. Like, but most of the time with the transcription stuff, like, I think sometimes people are just too lazy to actually read like the actual article.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So like they don't well not let me not use the word lazy. I'm gonna say the word like sometimes people just don't have the time to, so they just look at the main headline and that's what they go off of. But like I promise y'all, it would do y'all so much good to actually go and read the actual quotes and stuff like that. Like I'm telling you, it's so much better and you get the full context of everything. Cause I mean, at the same time, you do want to get you always want to get a good headline in. But like I think it's important to actually go and read the actual article so you can get like a full context of the situation, so people won't keep throwing around that term dirt sheet because it makes like I don't know, that stuff just irritates me.
We always say, like, you know, we write a lot of headlines, we write a lot of transcriptions and stuff, and like, you only have so
many. Yes,
you only have so many characters to put in a headline. Like, exactly. I can't put the whole quote in the headline. What do you want me to do?
Exactly. Like even when I wrote the Tony Khan money thing, about Vince, like when I was about to post that, I was like, that's one of those things where like I'm gonna just post the full quote, because I was like, if I post half of it, it's gonna get like completely like I was like, let me just put at least the first sentence or first two sentences in there, so it could be like, you know, somewhat maybe like 20-30% of the full context, so people can at least get like the full glimpse of it. But at the same time, like Jeremy said, it's just a matter of like you only get so many characters in the headline before you start writing fucking book articles as your headline. So like you gotta like choose stuff carefully. But like like JJ said, I've never been a fan of like the dirt sheet term. I think it's dumb.
It's just such an old and outdated term. Like that's what it is.
People be like the sheets.
Yeah.
The sheets. What the fuck do you mean the sheets? Like what? Like that shit is so corny, bro. And people legitimately think they sound cool when they say that. I'm not even gonna get into all that, man. This shit's ridiculous, bro. Tonight is going to be a lot of good wrestling. Dynamite is gonna be cool. I'm looking forward to seeing TBS title tournament. Like,
it looks really good. I'm a little bit worried about like how they're gonna like stretch it out because the finals aren't until January. It's like they're already doing 2 matches this week and everything. Like they're gonna have to find a way to stretch this out.
I think the way that they're gonna go about it, because they have 4 first round matches before they even get to the second round.
Yeah, there's gonna be 11 total matches, and there's 11 weeks between now and January. But like they're doing 2 matches per week.
Come on, yeah. So like it's gonna be maybe they lock the finals in like 3 weeks before and do like a solid build.
That's what I was thinking, like, and that's what I hope they do. So like you can add a little bit.
That's smart.
Yeah,
that's smart actually. And then like in the meantime, by then you'll already have the AEW World Title Tournament be over. Like I think Danielson gonna win that. And then
I think Moxley's going to.
You think you win the title back from Omega?
No, because I think Hangman's winning it full deal.
Oh, okay. Oh,
and then
shit.
I think the first
few... I'm tripping. Jesus Christ, bro. I'm thinking, I was thinking like way. I think I got confused for a minute, but like, the title tournament is gonna be Moxley and Danielson. I think everybody can see that coming.
Yeah.
But like, I sort of got it in my head. I think Danielson might win, but like now that you like sort of threw Moxley around, I'm like, because I mean, obviously everybody knows it's gonna be Danielson versus Moxley in the finals at Full Gear.
Yeah.
I'm actually excited to see that match. But like, I kind of thought Danielson was going to win, but like now that like I remember Hangman is like it just came back to my mind that Hangman challenging Omega for the title. I don't know how the fuck I forgot about that. It's been a long day. But yeah, Hangman definitely taking the title off Omega, and then he gonna need a heel challenger. Cause I don't think you should throw Danielson right at Hangman.
No, I think it's gonna be Moxley because like when Hangman came out in the ladder match, him and Moxley.
Oh yeah, foreshadowing. Look at that.
We
see you, Tony Khan. We see you. See you, Tony Khan, with your foreshadowing.
And yeah, I don't think Danielson needs to. You can lose to Moxley, it'll be fine. That Moxley and Hangman's a really strong television main event because I think that's where they're going on the television. I think
that's gonna headline Winners coming.
Yeah.
If they do that again.
I think they're gonna do Cole at the first pay-per-view. I think that's the Revolution match. Cole and Hangman in February.
Hey, Jeremy, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like, Adam Cole, I think long term, that's gonna be one of their biggest signings, man. Like, what is he, like 31?
Yeah.
He's young as shit, bro. Like, and the thing is, like, he's so polished. And like I think like it's fun to clown WWE and stuff like that, but like you really gotta sort of give NXT, I should say, props for how polished Adam Cole is now.
Yeah.
Like he's like the complete talent. Like he was already really good, but like now, ever since he came out of that NXT system, like he's like thorough as hell now. Like he was already good on the mic and ring stuff and that, but like now he's had that 4 or so years of like of course being on a network, and then had a couple TV spots, and then of course the NXT being transitioned over to USA. Like he's had like a good amount of experience, so he was already coming into AEW like well prepared. So yeah, I feel like Cole, man, I feel like that's long term. That's probably gonna be one of AEW's best signings, because like you can You could do anything with him, bro.
Yeah.
That is the exact type of opportunity.
Do you think he's gonna win the TNT title at some point, or you think
I
they're
think
gonna
he's gonna get the TNT title first. I don't think he's gonna beat Hangman at Revolution. But
Oh no, no question.
And the officials calling for a 3-second violation. And a moment now to check out who the penalty.
Hey, John, doesn't
on Sunday. They'll be
Bound for 45 like that 10?
yeah, because of Dynamite.
And then on Wednesday.
Is that really why?
Yeah, because they didn't want to go head-to-head with Dynamite.
I don't get the fuck out of here. I mean, but they're on the West Coast though, so I mean, you know.
Yeah, I mean for the West Coast, it's like fine. It's only 7 o'clock for people on the West Coast, but for us on the East Coast, I'm doing post show too, so like I'm gonna be up till like 2 o'clock.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through.
That show ain't ending until
You guys keep getting stretches.
that show's not ending until at least 1. And yeah, you do the post show right after that.
JJ said bounce. JJ, where's JJ from?
JJ's
Okay. Hey, JJ, what time did Jewel start for you? Oh, man, okay. So that shit was probably like.
I think they're just 5 hours ahead of us. Oh, using Dane Penny was so nice, man.
But he was like, there's like so many NBA players who you like wish to go back and like sort of strip away their injuries.
Yeah,
like sort of come out early. Yeah, Penny's definitely one of those guys. Penny's tough. He's a bucket. He always will be a bucket. Always will be remembered as a bucket. Doesn't he coach at Penny coach at Memphis, right?
Does he?
Yeah, I think so. He's Penny Hardaway. I think he coached at Memphis. Penny Hardaway. Coach.
2 minutes remaining in the third. 2 minutes.
Yeah, he coached for the Memphis Tigers.
Firing on all cylinders here in the third. Only 1 miss.
Yeah, man.
5 attempts.
But it's some what's you say? Dynamite is 1 a.m. here. Oh damn. I mean that's decent. 1 a.m. bro. Hey JJ, I don't know how y'all folks in K do it, bro.
I don't either.
Like I was talking to when I did the podcast with Alex. Like, I was telling him when he was off. I was like, bro, I don't know how y'all do it. Like stand up at like 2 a.m. and shit. Like like for Raw. I mean, it ain't no way, bro.
I don't even want to stay until 11 o'clock for Raw. Staying up as late as they do.
Hey, Jeremy, do y'all still got the 24/7 title article going?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like it's ever defended nowadays, but yeah, it's still there.
You know when we first made that thing?
Really, we're not doing articles on every single 24/7 title change.
Right, exactly. Who was that you posted? Is that?
He do Turkaloo, man.
That's who I was about to say him, but I wasn't sure. Oh, that was a nice little step. Step back.
And hard work on the glass. Once again, guys, they put a lot of effort and focus.
I had Trae Young, but he got hurt game 1. I was very upset about that.
Trae Young is SmackDown legend.
He really is.
Hey John, if he wasn't if the NBA season wasn't going in January, what are the odds you think he'd be wrestling at day 1?
I don't know if he'd actually be able to wrestle.
You think he'd do something there though, like if it wasn't season?
I think he might.
He still might.
I don't know if they have a game that day or anything. Like if they don't, I think it's possible he shows up there.
Yeah.
But he'll be a babyface. Like he's aligned with Sammy. At least he was in New York. So.
But there will never be another celebrity that will top the legend himself, Bad Bunny, the GOAT. Hey, you think Ron will ever come back?
I do think Ronda.
They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them.
I don't know. Like, cause I mean, no, I mean, like, I feel like she would, but I just can't call it right now. I feel like we probably won't see her till like WrestleMania in Los Angeles, whenever that. When is that? That's 2023, right?
Yeah, that's not next year.
That's when I think we'll see Ronda at that WrestleMania. In Ronda from Cali?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. I think that's when we're gonna see Ronda Rousey. But I think we'll see her like long before. I think she'll probably come back at the Rumble, something like that.
I think they still gotta do a Ronda Becky.
Yeah, man. I don't know why Charlotte got shoehorned in that shit in the first place. Should never took the title off Oscar. You supposed to get Oscar versus Sonya Deville at that WrestleMania. Tragic. But you remember that clip that went around when they told them that their match got canceled?
Oh, yeah.
I think it was like on Total Divas or something like that.
Yeah.
On the wing, Thompson. He dishes it to O'Neal.
Jeremy, are you ready for the for the scoops from the Total Bellas podcast?
I hope they keep saying we're gonna come back within the next year.
Oh, they're not they don't have a date set?
No, the Bellas podcast is a date set, I'm pretty sure. But,
okay.
You know, Nikki is always like, oh yeah, within the next year, so we're gonna try to.
Okay. Oh, he crossed your ass up. Jeez.
That wasn't me. That was the computer. I was a different player right there.
I saw that in real time. Left y'all in the dust. You wanna know who I really like? Alex Caruso, the Bulls.
Yeah.
I feel like that was I don't think it's her in LA because they got Rondo and Avery Bradley, so I don't think it's
LA. Something's hurting. That team ain't playing too well.
The reason why they've stayed aggressive,
yeah, man.
They have not let up this entire night, and at this point, I wouldn't expect them to.
So you haven't seen Atypical?
Dude, I've not watched any television. Like, I have not. I don't watch TV anymore.
But whenever you get a chance to watch Atypical, you're gonna like it. You gonna like it.
I know I'll like it. It's just a matter of
like finding time
watching it.
Yeah.
I'm just so out of it with television. Like I was telling you, like I just now caught up on the challenge. You know me, I'm always trying to watch the challenge as quick as possible. So.
Pat Patel, Ron Patel. Why does that name sound so familiar?
Ron? The GOAT, Ron Patel.
Ron Patel. But that I swear that name like sounds so familiar, bro. Like Ron Patel. I'm looking on Twitter. Ron Patel. But what did they say? Hard to slap Bellas back with all these women tag teams at the moment. But hey Jam, I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. Like what do you even do with the women tag belts at this point? Like legitimately, like what do you do with the women tag belts at this point? Like it's like, bro, I felt like at the start it could have been so cool, like legitimately, and then like I don't know what happened from there. Like but the WWE. They have so much trouble with like booking some of the most simple stuff. Like I even said it on Twitter last night with Mustafa Ali. They was like with the Kofi situation. Yeah. I was just like I don't know how that wasn't like the most obvious route. Like I remember even me and you when we were covering it at the time. Like I remember me and you were talking about it. Me and Sean in the chat, we were talking about like potential title, like post title win stuff for Kofi. Like the unanimous name was Ali, but I mean that's like the most obvious route. Like Kofi wouldn't have been in the match if it wasn't for Ali getting hurt. So you would think that would be like a natural thing, and he wouldn't even have to turn heel. So,
even like an Ali like Brock thing would have been, exactly. And you know, don't squash him like you did Ricochet, but like you know, give him something there. They don't do a lot of just obvious stuff that it's like, oh wait, there's a little bit of history here. Like at some point they'll like come back to it like 2 or 3 years down the line, and then they'll be like, oh look at this long-term storytelling and everything. And it's like, nah, they just kind of lucked into that and remembered that they did something. And it's like they have so much footage of this stuff that they can make it seem like this is long-term storytelling time, where in reality they actually have no plans to do any of this shit.
You've got a good thing going.
Bro, John, did you see the Shibata return, bro?
Oh yeah, dude. I was watching that show live, and like, I came back to my place and I turned it on, so I missed the first half of the show, and I came back during intermission, and like the first thing I see coming out of intermission is Zack Sabre Jr. come out, and I was like, oh okay, cool, yeah, it's Zack Sabre, and then Kevin Kelly's like, well, Zack Sabre's not supposed to be wrestling tonight, not sure what he's doing here, and all of a sudden fucking Shibata's theme hits. I was like, oh fuck.
Bro, like cause I had woke up and I had got first I covered the news from it, and then like later that day I had went back and watched the show. And bro, like Chris Charlton's reaction to Shibata coming out was like the most pure thing.
Yeah.
That shit was so great. Like he made that moment just from his pure excitement alone. Like it was like that was like genuine excitement. Like he was amped. And then like even just seeing Shibata like back then, like I mean if New Japan won't allow him to go full contact in the ring as far as like, you know, doing what he was doing prior to the injury, then I'm pretty sure people wouldn't mind seeing him doing these UWF rule style matches. I don't think anybody would complain about that, like just putting him in there with a bunch of good grapplers. Like, I mean, if you really gonna go that route, I think a lot of people obviously want to see him versus Danielson at some point. Like, I mean, if you really want to do that, like with Shibata, but man, like it was crazy seeing him get back. And like it's sort of like, I really wish the crowd was able to like chant and stuff, because like I remember when he came back, I think it was like the G1 2017 when he came back. Dude, that reaction he got, like I think that was like a couple months after his injury. Like, bro, he had grown ass adults crying like in the audience. Like,
dude, the Kenta return when when him and Kenta got into it. And people were big hype over that. Oh man, Shaq on Dana.
Where's Joseph at, man? I ain't talked to Joe in a minute.
Joe's probably sleeping.
I swear I forget sometimes that Joe's in the UK.
I can really message him. I'll message him, see if he wants to come on.
Tell him wake up so I come get on his nerve. Wake up so I come get on his nerve.
Whatever just happened, it doesn't count. I think I just got dunked on, so I was not playing defense because I was about to message him.
Tell him Andrew said get on the stream before we fight. This is how Whiteside still in the lead. Is it?
Alright, I just said Joseph, I'm playing 2K and Andrew is on stream.
Call him out.
Joseph is kind of on Eastern time. It's 9 o'clock.
Yeah, Whiteside played for the Utah Jazz.
Yeah. Does he play for the Jazz?
That's what it's
okay. Shit, I don't know. No idea.
Yeah, he is. It's on Whiteside. Yeah, he does. He's active on the Jazz. He's active. Yeah, and he playing some good minutes. He played like 10 to 16 minutes a game, averaging. Utah, they 4-1. Oh my.
Joseph says, I'm watching Vitaly Minakov fight a chubby Wheeler Yuta in Bellator. I'm gonna say coward. I'm calling him a coward.
Chubby Wheeler Yuta.
I know Fedor was supposed to fight. Is the Fedor fight happened yet?
It's on now. I think it's on now. Well, I mean, not that actual fight, but I think.
Yeah, I know the events. I know the events on now. I didn't know when the Fedor fight, because I did want to watch Fedor actually fight. Oh, so the Minakov fight is the co-main event. I'm gonna tell Joseph to. Let me know when Fedor is fighting. All right, got the dub. Moved to 2-1 on the season. Very nice win. Andrew, your good luck.
Hey, you won?
Yeah.
There we go.
Penny Hardaway went off on him, man.
Hey, Jerm. So, Okada's coming. I'm pretty sure you saw it, but Okada's gonna be at the
he's at the
Battle at the Valley.
Yeah.
Is there a chance? Is there a chance that we get to see the man on AEW Dynamite?
I think there might be a chance.
Because when's that, November?
Yeah, that's November.
So the date is November 13th. I mean, you figure if they're bringing Okada to the States, this is not about to be like something where he just comes for a New Japan show. Like you would think he might work an independent show, maybe one.
He typically doesn't though when he comes to the US.
Yeah, he does. Well, yeah, you're right. I mean, that's fucking Okada. Like he ain't got to do shit he don't want to do.
But like AEW is not just an independent show. Like that's national television right there.
Exactly.
I mean, Okada, honestly, if I'm New Japan, like I'm trying to get him on the show because that's free pub. Like that's free American pub of like Okada, New Japan stars. Same thing they got with like when Kenta was on the show, when Tanahashi did video packages and everything, and Suzuki. Like it's all free pub when they're on that stuff. So I mean, if Tony Khan is into it, and I mean it's Okada, he's probably marking out like crazy for him. And, like I would go for it, honestly.
Tony, good question, Khan. You didn't get the joke?
Yes, I did. I was responding to Joseph's. I was responding to Joseph's text.
I'm about to say, damn. I was about to say, you catch the joke.
Nah, dude. You listen to that Busted Open interview, right? Where he went on for 8 minutes of a one question. Dude, I was transcribing that thing, and I was like, oh, he's going to stop at some point. And he just kept going.
Bro, Tony Khan is one of those people I would love to interview, though.
Yeah.
You ask him one thing, and then he just goes on like this tangent.
It's tremendous.
Of like all different types of stuff.
It's tremendous.
He's a great interview. He really is. I ain't even mad at it, bro. Tony Khan's a great interview.
All right, this team's got Oscar Robertson, Eddie Jones, Paul George, Elton Brand, Alonzo Mourning. Not bad. Not a bad squad. I'm not really sure where the mismatch is for my team. Just playing good team basketball. I get at least one more game in here. Probably pause in the middle of this to watch the Fedor fight, everybody, which I will not put on stream, but we'll watch together as Joseph likes to say as a family. Look at this court, Andrew. Look at this Honolulu Breeze court.
Now let's take a look at Toronto's starting lineup.
Rip off Miami Heat.
Dude, this court's sweet though.
Here's Brand.
Nope.
What's the Miami Vice? That's what it's called.
Miami Vice. Oh, that's a sweet court. Those are nice jerseys too. I'd get one if I actually cared about the Heat and the fan. I'd totally get one.
Always a nice way to start. Makes his first one. You can tell his hustle inspires the entire.
Let's say, but yeah, you would think once Tony Khan got word, or if already he hasn't gotten word already that Okada's gonna be in the States, like. Come on now. Hey, did you see Mansoor Curry right back?
I did. That was tremendous.
He posted that screenshot.
That was so good.
Bro, the ratio of this thing is ridiculous, but that thing got over 30,000 likes. And Ryback fucking blocked him on Twitter. But somebody tagged him in that article I wrote.
He blocked me a long time ago. I wrote an article like when him and Cody left WWE. I wrote an article about like just the paths they took, how Cody went on like the independent scene and went on like this great run, and Ryback did nothing. And like people tagged Cody and Ryback blocked me.
Hey bro, Ryback does have you seen those like food reviews that he does? Like
I don't watch that guy.
Honolulu has possession. After the basket by Toronto.
Oh!
Hey, I'm not. Ryback is funny, bro. Like, it's not even like that. Like I'm not that I'm like clowning him funny, but like I don't know what it is, but he's just goofy as shit. Let me see. If you wonder why. There's a thread about Mustafa Ali and Mansoor. Damn, but they've been paired on screen together since June.
Mansoor and Ali?
Yeah.
I fully admit I like better to watch that. We got it good on the coverage now, where like I don't have to cover any of these shows anymore, so I don't feel like watching them. I typically just don't.
Thompson outside. Pass to Hardaway.
Monday Night Raw, bro. I be falling asleep watching that shit.
Back to Thompson.
Very Jesus.
No good. And it's Toronto
so
taking it
awful.
the other way.
Hey, what do you think about it's kind of old. Like, what do you think about when JBL was on that podcast and he was like they basically say he didn't mean
Oh yeah, the
like
bullying
what happened
stuff.
with
Yeah.
I think he only said that and addressed it because Bass Rutten was on the show
Yeah.
and that's more of a friend.
Yeah.
Cause like JBL brought that shit up unprovoked. Like I was like, what? I was like, how, like, because he sort of like went into it like so randomly. I was wondering. I was like, what made? And then I realized Bass Rutten is more his friend. They like being tight.
Here's Jones. No, they're unable to get the tying basket there. Here's Iguodala.
Man, Joe, I'm trying to lock down some more interviews, bro.
Do you got any in the can or anything?
Even with all those bodies around him, keeps his concentration.
Did you go, Andrew?
Defending.
Andrew Freeze. Oh, Andrew was logged out.
What a terrific play by just a tremendous all-around player.
Pause this. Let me get Andrew back. Reconnecting. There is a poor network connection. No, that's on his end, on my end. Alright, let me call Andrew back. Hold on. Try to get Andrew back, everybody. Forwarded. I don't want to be forwarded. Just have Andrew staring at the screen like that.
Please leave your message.
I'll get Andrew back here in a second, hopefully. Oh, he just messaged. Okay, I said his internet went out. Alright. Yo.
Be back.
Okay, you good?
Be back.
Okay. Your camera's
Yeah,
still
you can hear
on.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Your camera's still not on.
Let me go back into tech mode. Tech savvy mode. I don't know what the fuck that was. My internet just like randomly fucking cut out.
It happens. It happens. There was one stream
Way back.
we were doing, and like my whole like system just crashed, and it was insane.
I know that shit probably sucked.
Yeah, it was like at the end of the stream and everything. I was like, oh man, what up, Sam? How you doing, buddy? How you been?
But yeah, bro, I'm trying to line up some more damn interviews. That shit is difficult, dog. Like, cause you know, I'm not like fucking super plugged in to the most part. So it's like that shit's like having to like reach out to all these damn people, and like sometimes they don't want to respond, and then like I gotta deal with them. I mean, I'm not gonna say act like the PR. I mean, that PR people not bad. Like, I always PR guy. Like, he's like really helpful. He's like extremely helpful.
Who's PR guy?
Ring of Honor.
Oh, right.
he's like extremely helpful. You know, I ain't getting no fucking WWE interviews.
Nobody gets it.
I see. What's the name? Like, I know you gotta be like with like mainstream outlet for the most part to like get it like consistently.
Yeah.
AEW. I feel like they. Sometimes
AEW. We can't even get AEW interviews at this point.
Like what? I'm trying. Like they seem like they're like. You would think they would be like more open.
Yeah.
To like doing more interviews with like. But I mean, I don't know.
It's strange.
But like the Impact PR guy, I don't think he's a fan of mine at all. You remember that situation I told you about? I don't think he likes me in the slightest. But like that, I think that was. But you wanna know what? Like now that I think about it, I think that was because. But you remember that night when it was me and you were covering the news, and it was that night when PW Insider had reported that they were Jordan Grace was working without a contract, and that was the night Scarlett got released. Well, she got granted a release, so she requested a release from Impact. And I did that back to back, and then I think you had wrote like a follow-up stories after that. I mean I don't know if that's it, but I feel like I'm just trying to like piece together in my head like why this dude was like acting so like fucking rude to me for some reason. And I was trying to figure. I was like maybe that's why, because I like did those like quote unquote bad publicity articles about Impact while he's a PR dude, but like. I don't fucking know. That was like some shit I just came up with in my head. I was like, maybe it's that, maybe it's something else.
I mean, we gotta write those articles though. Like,
exactly.
It's not our fault that that's the news that's out there. Like I know what you mean. I have no idea what the reasoning is. Because
it's so weird. Like. I remember I told you about this like right after it happened.
Yeah.
Like, I think I told you about that, and I was like, I remember I was telling you back then. I was like, I'm trying to get this fucking camera here. But I remember I was telling you back then. I was like, bro, like we being fucking real. I know he ain't talking to none of these white interviewers like that.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't no fucking way. Like he was being like hella disrespectful, and I was like, a part of me, I was like, you know what, I should sort of like put him on blast, I guess. But I was like. No, I'm not gonna do it. Some of my gut was like, don't do it yet. So, you know what? I'm gonna wait for one of these days. But it's whatever, bro. But like, I was trying to I had tried to get Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz, and I remember I reached out to them personally because I know he ain't good, you know. But he actually emailed me back. But Tasha, he was like, hey Andrew, you know, I saw that you tried to reach out to Tasha. I would appreciate if you would come to me and ask if you could do those interviews.
Man, they hate when you try to reach out to people personally, because like AEW did the same thing. Like we're trying to get Luther and stuff. Like Luther's our guy, and Luther was like, yeah, let me know, we'll do this interview. And then we reach out to the PR people, and we're like, hey, we want, like, can we get Luther? And they're like, oh, Luther's busy. I was like, what do you mean Luther is busy? Like, huh? And then they were like, you know, come through us with this stuff. I was like, he's messaging us saying he wants to do this interview. Like, I'm not going behind your back trying to get this interview. He is saying like, hey, let me know when you want to do an interview. We'll do it. So the PR people are just, I don't know, man. Some of them are good, and much respect to them. They got a tough job and shit. But it'd be cool if they were just a little bit more fair, accommodating.
Bro, even if you gotta tell somebody no, you could at least
like that's fine.
Tell them no. Tell them no. Like don't like just leave them like wondering like what the fuck is going on.
His vision, his creativity, his ability to make
it's like they get mad that you try to reach out to somebody in person.
Probably personally, like without them.
Yeah, and so like that discourages me from like wanting to do that. I'm like, oh man, I'd really like to interview this person. It's like, oh, they're with this company, so I gotta go through the PR, because if I try to reach out personally, then it's gonna be an issue. So it's just It can be tough. That's why I want to do some more interview stuff. But now that we got the new, I told you about my idea of trying to watch like matches with wrestlers and stuff. And like now that we got the channel and everything, like I want to try to do more of that. It's just a matter of trying to get people who are willing to do it and trying to get PR people who are like, yeah, they
get on board.
Right. And like it's not always easy.
Now here's Hardaway. The D's right on him. To the paint. Here's right side.
Oh, come on.
Well, this is a guy who
You suck.
Hey, John, let me call you back.
Okay.
I gotta reset the camera.
Pretty dime there. The kind of ball movement coaches love
Alright,
to
guys.
see.
Let's get into this. We got Penny, we got J Will.
Outside.
Okay, let's see. Do we have action? Turn on your video so Jeremy can see you.
Let me know when you got video on.
Alright.
Williams.
Cam settings.
To Iguodala. Now Hardaway. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The shot won't fall. Now Toronto takes it the other way. 1:03 left to play in the first half.
Cameras on.
Here's Brand.
I'm not fucking showing what's going on, people.
Oh, the go-ahead bucket, no good. The Breeze leading. And it's Hardaway.
Get up, Penny.
I just love the aggressive finish. I'm thinking he's sending a strong message with that jam. Robertson.
Oh, come on.
Way up. Still leads into the line for a pair.
Yeah, JJ. Don't be a bad team. I've already blocked the line.
Physical play inside.
He said what?
We're shooting an angle on our show right now. Where we don't have women on our show.
From the line that time.
It's a very, very divisive angle.
And here is Williams. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game from him.
Let's break out the webcam.
Now here's Iguodala.
See if I can be great.
Lets a floater go. He's in his comfort zone. 2 for 2 to start this one.
Well, you love that Andre Iguodala seems to relish an opportunity to have contact and have to finish anyway.
Jones, his shot is
Eddie
good.
Jones, 3 points.
Jones has gone 4 of 7 from the floor here. Outside Hardaway. Going inside. And some nice defense to end the quarter. Wrap up the first half of play.
So Joseph ducking me, huh?
He is, man.
Don't go
He
away.
is.
After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
No, because I had accidentally ducked him on the podcast when he came on there with Sai. And when Sai was doing it, I was at my haircut. Well, I was going to get my haircut. So when he was doing it with Joe, I couldn't make it. And Joe said I was ducking him.
Is that sarcasm, Ernie?
Hey, watch Shaq.
I catch up with Joe in a minute. I'm talking with Joe forever. I probably DM him or something on Twitter. Joseph Hulbert. Joseph Jerome. James Hulbert. Okay.
Second half of
1 second, everybody.
Okay. Let's see what we got. Okay.
right, so the Fedor ring walks are happening. So if everybody wants to turn on the Fedor fight, we're going to watch the Fedor fight as a family.
Hey.
Andrew, you got access to the Fedor fight?
Let's see. Yeah, I think I should be able to. Okay. We got action. Why is this? What the fuck is going on?
Andrew versus the webcam is my favorite thing in the world.
Bro, it was like I was literally just looking at it. It's saying we could not connect to your chat close and other applications or restart Skype. Jesus Christ, man. Let me try this one more time, John.
Okay.
I'll be back. Hold on. Let me go.
I mean, don't even worry about it. Like, people can hear you. You're good.
I can literally see me in the preview right now. Like, this shit's ridiculous. Hey.
There we go.
That.
All right. Now I can
Look at that HD webcam.
Looking
Look
good.
at that.
Looking good. My God.
That thing clears. I remember I had to stop. When I first got this thing, I didn't have a haircut, so I was hesitant. I was like, people gonna look at my headline and be like, what the fuck is going on over there? I ain't had my haircut in like 3 weeks.
Fedor is walking to the ring. Andrew, do you have access to the Fedor fight? Would you like access to it?
Let's see. Yes, I would.
Okay.
You wouldn't mind.
Yeah. Check your DMs here in like 2 seconds. There you go. Check your DMs.
Cool. Twitch. But Jeremy, who you got? You got Paige Van Zandt or Jake Hager MMA fight?
I'm pretty sure Jake Hager would.
I got Paige Van Zandt.
You think Paige Van Zandt fuck him up?
I know she'll get him good. Oh, they logged me on my Twitch. I know they didn't. Whoa. team. Switch name, so my phone can't recognize me. Oh, there we go. Hey, Jeremy, you want to see? Well, when you get a chance, I'm gonna show you something funny. It's
Okay.
I used to be oh, give me a long text. And you could show the stream. I used to upload I used to upload my Call of Duty Black Ops clips to YouTube.
Oh yeah, you showed me some
And
of
they
them.
still up there. I did.
Yeah, you showed me some of them.
I left those things on, but I don't really have a choice. Stay on the Call of Duty thing, but those are the days, man. When I was 13, 14 years old, I ain't had nothing to worry about, bro. I was just going home,
Just playing games.
game,
That was the life,
playing
right?
games.
That was the life. Shit.
I ain't had no bills. I ain't had no phone bill, no nothing. I had all I had to worry about was getting my homework done.
Yeah.
Making sure I got to school. That was it. Hey, John, what would you think Ring of Honor would need to do to sort of get more like attention? Because I feel like they've been doing like a really good job about the whole pandemic, like even with the like sort of managing COVID. Like I feel like people on it's like locked into Ring of Honor because it's like it's so much stuff going on, bro.
And that's
Like,
the thing. It's like there's just so much to consume, and I don't know what they can do. There's not anybody out there who's gonna be like, oh, this is a big boost to business and everything. It's just
they gotta get on TV, dog.
ugh. I don't even know if TV would help them.
You don't think that's gonna help?
Honestly,
But they got like so many like good people on their roster. Like even
yeah.
Gresham is fucking great. Like Gresham is unbelievable. Like I feel like they gonna put the title on him at Final Battle.
I think so too. All
Like
right,
that's
here
the
we
way
go.
to go.
Fedor fight is starting. I imagine someone will get knocked out within 2 minutes. Against Tim Johnson. Now, if people are watching, you're going to get my commentary, though. Nothing is happening.
Mm-hmm. We need the live play-by-play.
Fedor, just kind of feeling each other out right now. Nothing going on. Oh, Tim Johnson throws a straight left. Fedor backs off. At some point, somebody will start swinging, and somebody will probably get knocked out. 30 seconds in, we've had one straight left. There goes Fedor. Ah, now they're swinging. Oh. It's crazy that Fedor still fights. Absolutely insane. Oh, good right. Oh. Body shots by Tim Johnson. Going up top, Fedor with a nice left. I feel like every punch with these heavyweights is just the end. Because I don't know if Fedor really has a chin anymore. I don't really know jack shit about Tim Johnson. Oh, like a check left. I stumbled Fedor a little bit. Fedor always looks like he's stumbling around. Oh, Tim Johnson going forward. Fedor with a nice little left counter. Oh, Fedor fucking knocks him out. Left, right. My God. Still got the power. Fedor still got the power. Joseph
it's over.
Messaged me. I'm gonna try to get Joseph on stream now that the fight's over.
Tell him to come on. Tell him my special requested him to come on.
Trying to get Joseph on the stream now. Was it under 2 minutes? I don't know the official time. That's what I said, right? I said this fight's going about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because you said somebody getting knocked out. Yeah. It's a Fedor fight.
These heavyweight fights, man. They just go out there and they swing. These Fedor fights don't last long. All right, Joseph said 5 minutes he will be on stream.
Yes.
There we go.
Did you see that? What did you think about the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury fight?
Oh, dude, that fight ruled.
Bro, wow. See the thing about when I was but yeah, first of all, the fight was good, but like I just feel like Tyson Fury is the better boxer.
Oh yeah,
that's all it is. He's a better. He's more skilled, like boxing.
Yeah,
like Wilder be trying to knock the damn head off.
Yes.
But like with Fury is just he's a smart boxer. That's all.
Randall out there with Glenn Robinson. Then it's Klay Thompson, and it's O'Neal at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Here's Hardaway, cranked it in off the glass. Hardaway's got 6.
All right, let's get this dub, everybody. This is a good Raptors team.
And for the Raptors, here's Robertson.
Jeremy sucks.
Wow, it's like that, Andrew.
I tried to start my hey, but I swear that Brian Chain is never gonna catch on.
No, it's so elongated. He tried when he did it in ROH. Yeah, when he did it in ROH, like it never really caught on, except for when he was just like outright leading it. Ooh, shot from the middle.
A fantastic mobile unblocked. This one deserves another look.
Yeah, just some terrific effort there. And you know the whole team will get an energy boost off a block like that one.
But I still can't believe you put me on the fucking distraction of you ready to rumble.
Pocket 6.
Hey, bro. I remember when I was watching that movie the night before. I was like, bro, me and Jeremy are going ahead.
I didn't know how you would feel about the movie. Like,
hey, nah, bro. But you know what? I'm dancing a little bit. The movie wasn't that bad. It was not that bad. It was bad.
It was bad, but I mean, like, there's some laughs and there's some humor in it. It's very dumb and silly. We got it. You're gonna be back on soon for the year-end show. You gotta host that again. That's a tradition right there.
Am I the official host for the year-end show?
Oh yeah. That's the tradition, man. That's a show. That's still my favorite show, like that we've ever done. Like I love that show.
See, you would have won, but you made the ultimate mistake. You brought up Terry Bollea.
No, but I didn't need to. I did not need to win because like I planned the closing spit take thing. So.
Okay. So that was your major plan to throw a fit.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So that's why I didn't want to win.
Did you throw your jacket on the camera?
Yeah, dude. Like that close.
And this is what the schedule looks like for the
but no, I didn't want to win because I needed that closing bit. I have no idea.
And then on Saturday, they'll be taking on Rudy Gobert.
I love that shit. That's legitimately like that's one of our masterpieces, and you were fucking tremendous as a host.
Bro, I meant to tell you, bro. That interview that you did with Dobby Ann, I think that's her name.
Yeah.
That's good. That was good. I had watched because I put the clip with the full interview that you sent me the news update, and I went and listened to it after I finished up my week post. That was a really good interview. You did a good job.
I appreciate it. I did not
good job. You did a good job, bro. She seemed very, very cool. I mean, that's kind of just how people like. As long as you make people feel like comfortable, or whatever, you did a good job.
Right.
Pass to Boozer.
Bro, this college football, Penn State and Illinois went overtime, went into 9 overtimes.
Jesus.
And it's only 18-18. Jesus, right?
18-18? How does that even
That's the score. Well, they won 20-18.
Oh.
So yeah, Illinois won 20-18 for the 2-point conversion. And they tied it, and then they got the 2-point conversion. 9 overtimes. Jesus.
Count it.
Assist had to be thrown not only in the right spot, but at the right time.
2 minutes remaining in the third.
Outside Hardaway. Screen by Robinson. And it's Hardaway on the take. Oh, a big finish with a one-handed jam.
You got finished. You think we get any surprises in the call your shot down?
I mean, they only got like 5 people announced, so I would assume.
It's only Rishwan, Brian Myers, Moose, W. Morrissey, and Chris Saban. The GOAT, Chris Saban.
Alright, let me call Joseph.
I want the camera on, Joe.
Says it's calling. There he is.
Joseph Jerome James Hulbert in the flesh. In the flesh.
It's been a long time, pals. Andrew, this is a very controversial moment right now because I've spent the last year alleging that you're ducking me, and I've been told that you've done the same tonight. I can only respect. I can't really argue with that. How have you been, pal?
That's good to see you, man.
Yeah, you too, pal. You too.
How you feeling?
I'm good. I should probably connect my internet deal here so I don't break up, right? Should I do that?
Andrew's been having tech issues.
Oh, okay. Just
par for the course with our streams.
But I've been good, Andrew. How have you been?
I'm good, man. I can't complain. It's good. I'm happy to see you, man. I don't know why. I'm just happy to see you. It's good to see you.
Well, it's glory days, right? Our great run as a trio. We lasted a good month or so there, guys. We had a good run.
Jeremy, we had a great run as a trio. It was amazing.
Knock some shots down for you guys. It's good stuff. I like it.
When the dream team was together.
Bro, that was the best. Without question, that was the best.
You know, ironically, I did go full Ben Simmons on that team too. I was just like, fuck, I'm done with this shit, man. Get me out of here.
Pass to Iguodala. Toronto grabs a miss.
There you go. That makes sense.
You was killing on the MMA side, but that shit was a lot though, because you was like in a whole different time zone, and these MMA shows want to fucking go to like 3 a.m. US standard.
Just to be clear here, Andrew, what you're saying is that I had it tougher than Ben Simmons. Is that what you're getting at? 'Cause I agree. If that's what you're saying, I agree.
You 100% got it tougher than Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons getting paid, but you want to think about that whole situation is, bro. Like, I'm trying to understand both sides, but like I really don't think Ben got like a dog in this fight. Like, dude, they paying you $130 million, and all they want you to do is just work on your jump shot. Just work on your jump shot. You like if Ben Simmons can legitimately be one of the top 10, if not top 5 players in the NBA if you just work on your jump shot. You can't check him. He's 6'10", and like he's quick and he can get to the lane anytime he wants to. But like, I'm trying to figure out like why he just won't do the obvious thing and work on his jump shot. Giannis worked on his jump shot. Like Giannis can seem like he can shoot now, and like that's only gonna make him better. And if Ben did the same thing, like he would be in that same like him and Embiid would be literally unstoppable if he was to like if people really feared him 3-point from the perimeter. But like I think it's also coming to the thing. Like I think he kind of got really spoiled before he actually really did anything. Like he kind of got crowned as like before he even did any major accolades. People was already telling, "Oh, Ben Simmons is going to be the next this," and then like now you look at him, it's like I don't know. I don't think they're going to trade him though. They're going to keep him.
It's interesting. I'm kind of a unique sports fan in that like in all of the teams I follow, I very rarely do the thing where I'm like fuck the player. You know, that's just not my personality. Like people that watch. Our football over here will know. I support Tottenham, our best player wanted to leave, and I was like, good for him, man, he should try and leave. But even still, the Simmons thing's tough because it's like, as you said, man, you got 4 years on your deal. Like, you haven't really got leverage. You played terribly in the postseason, you know. But I will say, and Jeremy can speak to this because I've said it on the air, like, I think it was pretty obvious there's like more to it, right? Like, yeah. Like, it's really difficult to talk about this stuff because you don't want to project stuff on the dude. He hasn't talked about himself, but like, it looked at times like Ben was having a full-on like episode in the playoffs, dude. Like, he was, when he was standing there, he looked like a zombie out there. You know, like he'd lost all of his like personality on the court because he was really arrogant when he first came to the league. Like, he used to dunk on people and shit, and that was all wrong. So I don't know, I don't know how deep the problems are. I honestly get the sense that he kind of just wanted to run away from shit that had kind of haunted him, you know? And like, it's not really the best way to do stuff when you're getting paid $40 million a year, but I can I can relate though, you know? Like, sometimes it's easy to forget, and I mean this sincerely. Like, he's a guy that's like my age. And as dumb as it sounds, I actually can relate to the notion of like, fuck, I just need to get out of here. You know, like I get it. I've done it. Like, I've never done it. You know, I was being offered, $35 million to play basketball, but I've done it. Like, I get it. I think it's one of those stories, to be honest with you guys, that when he eventually does like a sit-down interview after he gets traded or whatever, it will have a different framing because it will probably become a pretty interesting story. Right now, though, he's letting all the leaks speak for him, which is never good. Never goes well. So, it's tough, man.
Like, because I saw the post-game interview that Joel Embiid did when he was like, you don't care about him and you don't have time to babysit him. And like, their team completely changed. Like, the day after that, like, Tobias Harris put out that tweet when he was like, that's our brother. And then Joel Embiid said the same thing for the game that they recently added. It's like, that's our brother. We can be here for him when he get back. So it feels like that was more so of like, you probably credit Doc Rivers for that. It's like, hey, let's not do that to Simmons in the public. Like, let's support him or whatever like that. But like, I think that he just legitimately does not want to be there.
Yeah.
Like, I think at this point, like, it's past the whole, like, oh, let's work this out. I don't think he wants to be there, but I don't think the GM is actually going to let him go. That he's like, bro, they know how good Ben Simmons can be. I think that's why they don't want him to trade him. Like, I really legitimately think that they know that he could be one of the best players in the league. It's just a matter of them actually, like, wanting to do it. So, yeah, man. But Ben is good, though.
Oh, yeah, he's still a difference maker. He's just not what he should be, right, is the thing. The thing with Simmons is the story is really interesting because he was having a fine season and then he missed like a week and they said it was due to illness. And I don't know if this is getting uploaded on like demand or whatever, but the story is out there, right? Like there was some shit happening in his family. And like, that's none of my business, but that was out there. And when he came back, he averaged like 10. He didn't shoot free throws in any of the game. He wasn't getting to the line. And I get the sense, if I'm going to speculate, that was a significant thing. Because I think he was averaging, I want to say he was averaging 17 before that. Came back and averaged 10 in his last few games there. And in the playoffs, we saw what he did. He didn't look like he wanted to look at the rim, you know? So, something happened. I don't know what. I think him and Doc is a tumultuous relationship because Doc kind of wants him to be like Rondo. And Ben thinks he should be like, you know, the center of the team. So...
I just saw the family thing you talking about. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, see that didn't get a lot of coverage because obviously no one wants to like, you know,
touch that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult,
Jesus.
but that if you look at the timeline, that is like directly correlates with his game just falling off a cliff. So I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. Because that story came out in April.
There you go. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
But see the thing. I think people they like to hop on Ben because like I'm pretty sure you see the videos like of him like all the basketball players like when they're in the gym playing against like regular human beings and they like they look like unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I mean like I think that's more so of a thing like just the skill gap between pro basketball players and like average human beings. So like it's like when I see these videos of like Ben Simmons like he in the gym playing against normal people and he like shooting threes and knocking them down and he, so it's like I mean but like, what you said does make sense because like I didn't even know about that story. But, like now that I see it, it's like that's some deep shit, bro. Like that's
Doc Rivers alluded to it if you watch the post match after the playoffs, like he has the famous quote where they say, "Can he be a championship point guard?" And he's like, "I don't know." Which is, let's be real, like should he have said it? No, but that was a fair answer. Like I don't know either. I get it, but if you watch it, there's another bit where Doc actually says, like, yeah, there was some stuff that, and he kind of that's all he says, but like he's referencing that. So
no,
I don't know.
But you wanna know what? That's like a real like interesting like conversational point, because like even with pro wrestling. Like with certain opinions, it's like we talk about certain talents like on a surface level, like just from what we see like on TV or like from their matches and stuff. But like it sounds like some cliche shit, bro. But these are like real people. Like they got like other shit going on in their life that's like not all perfect. Like they not gonna sit here on social media and like empty everything, but like they got shit going on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know about. Like it's even the same thing with Ben Simmons. Like literally when you told me about when I looked up the story, I didn't know about that. So like I can definitely see how something like that can like just take a complete impact. Cause that's not like just some like random thing like you know like. And I'm not calling this random, but like just an example, like if you having like a relationship problem or like some shit like that, like you know what I'm saying, like that. Absolutely. But like this, that's like some like deep rooted family, like that's rough, bro.
Absolutely, no, I think it's interesting. I mean, with what we cover, it's especially interesting because look, money is not everything, and that goes without saying, but we're all aware that. We're all aware that the folks that we cover are not being compensated as well as the NBA players, right? Like, you know, I mean, let's be honest. There's a handful of wrestlers in the world that have true leverage. The rest of them are just hoping to keep their job every week, and like, it's a weird thing to be a critic of professional wrestling, which is definitely what I am. To give opinions without being like a dick. is really hard, you know? It's difficult. I don't know, like, I read Alex's story about Charlotte and Becky and all that stuff, and I'll be honest with you, I was really kind of fascinated by how we cover is like that story about about how their friendship fell apart. Like, I don't touch that stuff, right? But it's like, right. If you really sit and think about it, if Charlotte Flair's perspective is that Becky saying the plastic thing allowed more fans to feel comfortable saying it, I really understand why that would hurt her, you know? I do, I get it. Like, I never I'd never even considered that. But there's a lot of stuff like wrestling's really weird because it's like body image, it's performance, it's you have injuries like an athlete. It's a hard one mentally, I'd imagine, man. It really is.
Joseph, do you want to apologize to the Queen Charlotte Flair who wanted to put over Bianca Belair on Monday?
But man, I don't really need to see Charlotte Flair on television. I'm not a big fan, but I think if they were saying that she's going to stand there and watch Becky hold both belts, I get why she was like, that ain't particularly good for me. I understand that. So, the truth is the segment sucked regardless. You know.
But the title swap segment is like the most pointless. Like it does nothing. Like literally it does nothing. Like I feel like this is going to become like a yearly thing.
Yep.
Like and it might not be to like I feel like for next year it'll probably be something serious. But like I feel like from that point forward WWE's going to try to do like they're going to try to lean into it like how they would lean into the whole can they coexist thing.
I agree.
Like would they think they're trying to be funny, but I'm like it's not. it's not coming off well at all. But like with the Becky Charlotte thing, like just like you said, I think if that was anybody in that position that Charlotte's in, or even Becky's in, like. You know, you at some point you want to think about how your character is being presented on TV, opposed to like, hey, let's go along with what's being told to do. Like at this, I mean, I can kind of see like some frustration, like if she really is frustrated, like, but it's like I don't really know how to call it, because I mean at the same time, the segment sucked, like you said. Like I think the whole title swap thing is pointless. Then again, you know,
it's a shame because if we're really being honest about it. They have a system that wants everyone to be competitive and to be like chasing for the top spot, right? That's what they do there. And the reality is that Charlotte Flair wants to be the #1 women's star in WWE. And I don't think that's going to be the case anytime soon. And a big part of that is because of Becky's ascension. And you end up in a system, and a lot of guys have pointed this out, and girls have pointed this out, like that naturally breeds this contempt for each other, right? And like it's some of the biggest stars in history of the industry eventually they hate each other when they're working with each other because they want to have the position the other one has. I don't know what sense that makes in the modern WWE where like everyone's paid guaranteed money, you know? I don't really know what difference it makes, but the one thing I will say is, and you guys know me, look, I roll my eyes at the title swap thing, but let's be real, the belts don't mean shit anyway, right? If we're being honest about it, like the WWE belts, Charlotte's won how many of them belts? Like
14 now, because I think they consider this a new reign.
Yeah, and like Nikki was the champ in the summer, and like you'd already forgotten that.
That's what I forgot about it.
Yeah, like it's so as much as I roll my eyes at it, does it really matter? The belts already mean nothing. Whatever, like.
I was talking to Jeremy about this earlier, like. Can you try to make up like any type of explanation for them not going the route of Bianca winning the title on Monday, Sasha winning the title at Crown Jewel, since they both going on their respective shows?
The only explanation for Sasha not winning is you don't want to pin Bianca, who would have just won the Raw title, and then you don't want to pin Becky in a triple threat situation. But then like don't book the match. Figure out something better.
I think, I'll be completely honest with you, I think that they're doing the thing where they test Bianca Belair. They see how she reacts to all this weird shit they're putting her through. Because they do that stuff.
Why do they that? No. They have like this weird tendency to do that to certain talents. Like they think that's like I'm pretty sure you guys have heard podcasts like with former executives or even current executives or like even people within a position of power. They do that weird shit like where they try to like, oh yeah, let's see how much they will take. I remember I heard I forgot who podcast I was listening to, but they used to work for WWE, and they were just like they was talking to a talent, and they were like, hey, make sure when this happens, don't make don't have like a boo-boo face.
Yes.
When you get told about this situation, or don't like when you about to go out, don't make this face, or don't look like you're angry. So, why are you putting people in that position anyway? Like Bianca Belair. Like I think we all have come to consensus that Bianca Belair is a fantastic performer. Like for somebody that's been wrestling for 5 years, she's extremely talented, and I think she could definitely be the face of that women's division. Like
she be the face of the company.
The face of the company, face of the company. But like, it's like I completely agree with the fact that they, like what you said, that they do that weird thing where they try to like test time to see how much can they endure when they get upset. Like, can we trust them? Like why are you putting people through that shit anyway?
Well, that just goes back to the thing about the competition, and it's people get mad when you talk about it, but the evidence is there. It's toxic, right? They want it to be this kind of everyone's insecure and anxious about their position, because that's going to breed, yeah, exactly. And Hitman Punk mentioned in the chat about Rhea Ripley. They clearly did that with her, and she sold the test. She talked publicly about how much it messed her up.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah. Oh yeah, she did do that. I forgot about that. She did say that. Right.
And I respected that a lot, because not a lot of wrestlers do that, as we know. But I don't think it helped her.
Joe, did you see Ali's comments when he was like, Vincent Man told him he was too nice and too polished? I don't think that's gonna do him no favors.
Yeah. The thing with that stuff is like, the truth is there are guys they're gonna push regardless of what they say and do. And there are guys they'll never push no matter what they say and do. And it seems like Ali is on the second list, unfortunately. I don't know. He's one of those guys that just felt like a can't miss babyface, and he's been a heel now for 18 months. Like,
he's a can't.
They do it with everybody.
I was telling Andrew, he's a can't miss babyface, but he's done like good as a heel. Like the Retribution stuff could have been.
This is the thing. They all do good as heels because they're good wrestlers.
Yeah.
They turn everyone heel.
Yeah, because they don't know how to book baby faces.
No, look, in the last 5 years, they've turned Bayley, Becky, Sammy, Johnny Gargano, all of these pure baby faces, and all of those people do good work as heels because they're great at their job. That doesn't make it right, Like, you need to. Some characters need to actually stand for something and be good, just inherently good people. That's kind of the idea of it,
Yeah.
I just think I did a tweet about this the other day, and it's like, I was reading the dialogue, or the discourse as the kids call it now, about Shotzi Blackheart, who's going to be a heel allegedly. And someone tweeted, they was like, well, try her as a heel. If it doesn't work, she can always go back to being a babyface. It's like, no, that isn't how it works, If she's going to be a top babyface, just make her a top baby. Because the kids remember that shit, Like, just let her be a baby. It frustrates me, man. It really does.
Like, when I think about, like, Ali, man, the first thing I think about is those days, like 2018, 2017, 205 Live, and it was him, Cedric, Buddy, Leo, Ari Dabari, Drew Gulak, Red Elite. Like, bro, they did a good job of making that show. Like, you had to at least go out of your way to see one match from that show, at least. And like now to see where each of those guys are, but I feel like Murphy is about to do some great stuff in New Japan, especially when the restrictions sort of tighten up and he's able to actually go over to Japan. Man,
tonight's an interesting night for him, huh? Feels like something.
Oh, Joseph, you going with this again, Joseph?
It's going to be on.
To call your shot, Gauntlet.
My prediction is that yes, but he could. I'm not dismissing him on Dynamite tonight. It's in Orlando, man. Dynamite is in Orlando.
Everybody's in Orlando.
And here's the other thing. Here's the deal, guys. And I am doing this again. Yes, I'm a masochist, but I'm doing it again. Two of his best friends were united on TV last night, Andrade and Malachi. Just saying. It's interesting.
There you go.
I think you'll be truth.
Hey, Joe, what do you think about NXT 2.0?
I haven't watched a full episode of it. I've seen clips. I think this is what I said on the distraction, but I'm actually going to double down. I think this is true. I could be wrong. I don't know. I think it's like a fun little show for people that miss by the way wrestling used to be when it was all gimmicks and everyone had like a day job, you know. But I think it's no different to me. Like it's a tribute to the mid-90s, the way that NWA Power is a tribute to the 80s. To me, that's what it is. Like the idea that it's a look into the way wrestling should be in the future, I think is insane. Like there's no way that's what wrestling is looking like in the future. That shit's a full-on. That's a nostalgia show, you know. So that's my take.
It's developmental. This is a developmental product. Like it's not. Like, I don't know how people like legitimately go. Like, I can see how people could be entertained by it in certain ways. Like if you like, it's like in a cheeky ha way. Like I enjoy the Tony D'Angelo stuff. Like I was telling Jeremy, like that's funny. But like as far as like that being in comparison to even an Impact or a Ring of Honor's product or AEW's product, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing, bro. But I do. There are certain aspects of NXT 2.0 that I do somewhat enjoy. Like I do like seeing those people who've been sitting up in the PC for the past 2 to 3 years, like finally get a chance to get on TV. Like that's somewhat beneficial because you get to actually get out there. Like, and I think Braun Breaker is going to be a good guy. I think he's going to be a standout. Like if they, you don't get fucked up by the system, when he eventually moves up. And I think I'm excited to see Carmelo Hayes. Like I think I'm seeing a lot of different like diversity. I'm seeing more black talents on NXT 2.0. I think that's cool to see. That's always cool to see. Like when you see a talent like I remember a while back there was like a report out there that WWE is not going to be looking for like independent wrestlers anymore, and I think that's the case. But I also think they're going to be looking for guys like Carmelo Hayes, like the guys who's been on the independent scene for maybe like 4 years, and they can like sort of take everything that they've learned from the independents and like strip that away and like make them into what they want them to be. And I think that's going to be the route. They're going to target the people who've been on the independent scene maybe 1 or 2 years, maybe filter in some students from Booker T school because they got that connection there. Like I feel like that's probably going to be the route that they go. But like other than that, it's a full-on developmental product, and I can't see how that can honestly compare to like the more products like I said, like a Ring of Honor or Impact that's more so truer to what professional wrestling is, opposed to this just strictly development, gimmicked up product of what they think pro wrestling is. But it's pros and its cons.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think this is one of the big stories that we all cover for the next probably 5 to 10 years, is because how WWE goes will decide how we see this NXT thing, right? Because if they actually get nothing out of it, I think it's like history will tell a pretty interesting story about NXT, because the original, like the last 5 years of NXT, man, I didn't love all of it, but the crowds loved that shit. And they did not capitalize at all on that, right? Like, so I don't know. If NXT 2.0 doesn't create any stars, I think we're going to look back at I really think people are going to look back and say, why did the Undisputed Era not go on Raw or SmackDown? Why did, Andrade not become world champion? Why did Aleister Black not become world champion? All of these guys, it's fascinating. I don't know.
How did he put the title on Bianca Belair?
That was bizarre. I don't know what happened with that whole thing. NXT's, they did a lot of weird shit with call-ups where they would people that would get called up were ones that hadn't done a lot in NXT. It was weird. I don't know.
Hey Joe, I wanted to ask. I was telling Jeremy about this before you came. Well, I want to get your take about it. Like, if you're Triple H, do you even want to come back to this? No,
I don't think he's coming back.
He's gonna lead next in AEW.
I think that's possible. I think Sting's gonna be in the Double or Nothing 2023. I don't know. I feel bad for him. Look, I love Triple H, but I actually think he had the right idea in a lot of ways, and I think Vince being so confident has made it seem like he got it all wrong, which is probably not true. I don't know.
Vince, he handed Vince some ready-made easy guys.
Yeah, and he fucked it up with all of them.
But you said he's doing Cross. Bro,
Yeah.
I swear, if there was anybody, bro, I legitimately thought Cross was like probably gonna be like the most perfect like fit for a WWE guy.
He's just terrible.
And then
I agree, but he's just terrible. He can only go so far with some of these guys.
Hey Joe, do you remember? This is kind of interesting to look back on. Like, do you think Adam Cole's like promo on Cross did more damage to him? Hindsight being 2020, like the one where he was like, you know, you got the lights, you got the girl, and you know they do all that to make you look special, but all they gotta do is put me in the ring. Like, even though that was an in-character thing, of course, but I feel like that did so much damage to Cross because it really, like, I feel like Cole said what a lot of people was already thinking, but like when you hear it, it's like, and then you really think about it, it's like, damn, like when you do strip all that away, as we're seeing now, it's like, is he that good?
I think there is a lot of evidence that the folks at NXT also lost interest in carrying Cross, and I think that's why they didn't, like, he kind of went up to die, against Jeff Hardy, and that was that. I know he was the champion in NXT, but like, Adam Cole's the nicest guy in wrestling, dude. Like, someone told him to cut that promo. He didn't do that shit off the cuff, you know? So that means it was a political hit. Like, because you're right, it killed him. It made him like an idiot. And he's standing there doing mean faces while Adam Cole just shit talks him. Like, bro, come on. They do that stuff on purpose. They know what they're doing.
That's so true though. Like, cause I remember even when that promo, like, after it happened, it says so much because, like, when you legitimately think about when you strip all that away from Cross, he is not interested in the slightest, and they got him win that dumbass mask now, the Titan mask. Like, I don't know what that's about. And like Scarlett, like he's like incomplete. Like I don't know like what's going on. Like Cross, bro. I feel like he's like at that point now, bro. Like I give it till next year. He gonna be chasing the 24/7 title. Like, I'm serious. Like he's gonna be in a 24/7 title hunt. Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, bro. And like even when like, oh, you go ahead, Joe.
No, I think what's interesting about a guy like him is that, and this is the thing that I think we all lose sight of this sometimes, right? Like, I actually don't think he's bad in the ring, and like he can talk a little bit, right? Like, he can cut those pre-tapes, whatever, fine. But the biggest thing with carrying Cross is, like, when you watch him come out, you just don't believe for a second that he's that guy, do you? Like, he looks like a guy that's playing wrestling. Like, he does all the shitty mean faces, and like, listen, he could definitely kick my ass. Don't get me wrong, you know.
Yeah, I got you.
He could beat me up, but what I'm saying is, like, if you compare him, let me give you a good example. If you compare his presence to like Samoa Joe's presence, they're like not in the same world. You know, like, he comes across like tryhard. And I think the audience sees through that stuff. I think that's the same reason that Brian Cage struggles, even though he looks the way he does and works the way he does. I think when he comes out, people don't buy him. I think Cross has always had that problem, and people look past it because they like his look or they like his, you know, whatever. But I don't think anyone buys carrying Cross. And that's...
But Joe, what would you say went wrong from when he debuted in the NXT, when everybody was big, well, for the most part, people were big on him, to where he is, let's say, to that Adam Cole promo, like, when people started to fall off on him. Like, I do you think it was the injury, like him being out for that long period of time?
I don't know. It's difficult for me to say because I was never in on him, so I can't. I never understood it. So.
I think that match in general hurt him because that match with Keith Lee was not that good.
But that was here's the thing with that. That was bad booking.
Yeah.
Because we all love Keith Lee, but like the one matchup that I would not do is like the really slow, methodical other big man. Like, that's just not gonna fit, you know.
Yeah.
Keith Lee's at his best when he's like. I remember the match. Remember when Keith Lee won the North American title against Roddy, and they had that like banger on TV, that tremendous match they had. Like, that's Keith Lee when he can fling a guy around, you know. Like, big carrying Cross is no use for Keith Lee. They had this lumbering match. It sucked. So. Yeah, I agree with you, but it was bad matchmaking. I don't know why they did that. I never understood that.
Well, I don't know why they did a lot of things they did with Keith Lee in NXT.
Just in general with Keith Lee, I don't know what you're doing.
Didn't he relinquish the North American title like 2 weeks after the double title win? Ridiculous,
yeah, he did,
bro.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. Like you like one thing that I'm kind of disappointed about, and I mean I'm not really surprised, but like I really, like there was a part of me that really hoped that Finn Balor would keep at least a portion of who he was in NXT and transfer that over to.
I feel like he tried because he's like the old Finn Balor would have been smiling coming out here. I feel like he tried, and then they're like, no, dude, you're just be the demon.
Smile.
Yeah, just
smile.
Do some dumb shit, and yeah, I feel like he wanted to stay that way, and they were like, nope.
Yeah, not 100%.
Listen, I don't know how many people are going to watch this show and you put it on the YouTube thing, but I'm just going to be honest with everyone. Like, someone save Finn, please. Tony Khan, please, everyone. I need him to do the right thing by Finn. Finn was so much fun on NXT, and as soon as he went back up on those shows, it was like, oh no.
Did you see that he tried to go to NXT UK before he?
Yeah, I love him. He's one because he's a guy
that's some funny shit.
He just wants to produce great pro wrestling, right? He doesn't want to have to put up with all the bullshit. But they want him on the main roster, so he's going to do his job. But I'll be on, like, I know everyone says that AEW doesn't need any more guys, and I agree, I get it. But if there's one guy I could have, move over, Finn is easily the answer. Imagine Finn in AEW, man. Fuck, incredible. Especially because the story you could tell with him, he's the founder of Bullet Club, you know? Like, it all gets traced back to him. You'd be wondering, him and Finn, him and Kenny wrestling for the title or whatever, like, good, it'd be outrageous.
Hey, Joe, you think Kevin Owens out of there 2022?
Oh, my God, he's long gone. long gone. He's done.
Yeah, like, you can tell, like, the writing on the wall. Like, did Baron Corbin pin him clean a couple weeks ago? Got a clean win over him, and, lost I'm pretty sure he ended up losing the Madcap Moss at some point. So, yeah, I think Kevin Owens about to do the honors, like all the honors on the way out. But
which will only make him more over because the audience will respect. They'll be like waiting for him to leave, you know.
That's the key thing. Like, I think WWE, I think they truly believe by doing what they're doing to Kevin Owens that it's going to somehow cool him off.
Of course,
bro. He is going to get the biggest reaction if he shows up in AEW. I lie to you now. It is going to be wow.
That's what happened with Moxley, right? Yeah. Like, they kept beating Ambrose and people started cheering him more because they knew what was going on. They're smart on that. The audience knows what's happening. You know, you're not going to convince the audience the guy's a loser. They know that he wants out. Like, and that's stuff that they haven't adjusted to the fact that it's 2021 and people can see through their stuff. Like, they still think they have this, like, veil over their bullshit. They don't know. When you're right, when Kevin gets over, man, he's gonna just be so much fun in AEW. Can you imagine? Incredible.
But the thing about WWE is, I legitimately feel like they think, like, if you're not tuned into their product, then you're a quote unquote like hardcore fan and you know everything about. Bro, there are people who are to the term casual, like it's like it really doesn't make sense to me, but I can see why people use it. But I think that they think that everybody who isn't tuned into the WWE product is like something like hardcore, like, oh yeah, we're into everything, we read the news sites and stuff like that. Not everybody's like that. There are people who just don't find WWE stuff interesting. They're gonna go watch AEW or Impact or Ring of Honor or New Japan. Like, I think WWE, like, man, they're so like eternally 15 years in the past or 10 years in the past, like they can't quite realize like the shift that's sort of happening in wrestling. And it's not, I think, of course, AEW is a massive part of that, bro, but there's so many different outlets that people can watch. Like, even GCW, bro, like, they're literally turning that independent promotion into like a legit, like, they're legit. GCW is legit. They're the third promotion, bro. They're making like a lot of good talent, and they're making people like, yeah.
That's where AEW is interesting, right? Is because like AEW kind of acknowledges those promotions. So you have this like really cool dynamic where AEW has kind of stepped into the vacant shoes that WWE refused to fill. You know, like the idea that he's like, I don't watch the GCW product closely, but when Moxley works against Gage, it's like, I'm in. I'm going to watch that because they, you know, it feels like the wrestling world is connected in that sense. And the example I always use is, you know, Daniel Garcia showing up. If you're an independent wrestling fan, that's great for you. because it's like they're showing respect to the stuff that you follow and watch. That's so different to having him have his name changed, get treated. Yeah, Dante Rios, as you said, like, you know, and it's interesting. I just think and it's one of those things where when you talk about it, people get really upset and they say, well, what does it matter? And it's like, well, maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know. I'm not saying it's a game changer, but for me personally, it's really nice that there's a Major League Wrestling product that acknowledges there's other wrestling promotions.
Yes.
It's really nice, and I think it helps everyone. I really believe that.
Bro, it's so key. See, that's the thing. Like, even as we're all in the wrestling media space, like, people take you as saying like AEW has really changed professional wrestling. It's like you like kissing ass or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not, but they legitimately changed the course of the way the business is going.
Yeah.
They really did. Like, by acknowledging that yes, there is other wrestling that exists outside of the stations that are on TV, and like even like even seeing people like MLW starting to get more shine. Like, I mean, MLW been around for a long time, but like just seeing them sort of get even more popularity over the past year and a half, like since they've come back. Like it's good to see that, man. And like, you know, even with the collaborations with New Japan, people want to see that shit. People like, y'all, there's a core base of people, man, that legitimately want to see people from New Japan. They want to see the Kentas. They want to see the Tanahashis in America. They want to see the Okadas. And I think AEW and New Japan is doing a good job of balancing that because, you know, of course, New Japan wants to have their own thing. Like, I'm pretty sure they don't want to sit here like ride AEW's coattails on the way to, you know, like they're obviously doing their own thing. Like Rocky Romero even said, like, he wants Strong to have like some type of television product, like maybe ESPN2 or Fox Sports or something like that. You know what I'm saying? He just wants something. But like, I can only imagine like how different the business would be right now from that 2016 to 2017, 2018 period if WWE just carefully handled their product and booked people right. They would have probably drew in the Bucks. They probably would have drew in Omega. They probably would have drew Cody back in. Like, them making that mistake, because I feel like their whole objective in the first place was to monopolize the business. I feel like they want to control everything. I feel like they want to control the indies. They want to control, like, I feel like they genuinely wanted to probably buy Ring of Honor and like own most of these wrestling promotions so they can control everything and self-produce everything. I feel like that's what they wanted to do. And they literally messed that up by not booking their product right, because you're turning people off. Like,
for sure,
they
did
that. Yeah.
The big part in the timeline that we're all going to circle, and listen, I don't know how long this AEW story is going to go, but I think through 2 years there's a lot of signs that it's going to be pretty important. It feels like, right? You get the big moment is the elite guys choosing to do their own thing rather than sign with WWE. They could have easily took that money. They could have, right? At the start of 2019 into 2018, whenever it was. They didn't, and I think, I'll be honest here, like, there's no way I'm covering this stuff as closely as I do now if they had just signed with WWE. And the new thing is, you guys know, I'm not like big elite fans. I'm just saying, look at what happened because they did.
Yeah.
The thing is, and you know this, Andrew, and you know, Jeremy, we've all learned this a million times being in wrestling media. Like, everyone is really scared to be, like, they don't want to be hyperbolic, right? They want to be like really objective and they want to be calm with their takes and don't say anything crazy. Listen, man, if I'd have told you 2 years ago that AEW would have Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Adam Cole, Rusev, Andrade, you know, like all of these guys.
Kevin Steen on the way.
Yeah, right. Like, if I'd have told you that and then I said, hey, do I have permission to get fired up when this happens? You'd have said, damn right you have permission to get fired up when this happens. You know, we have to be honest about it. Like, they're in a way better position than we ever expected. Dude, I have a DM conversation where I predicted them to do 250,000 weekly viewers on TNT. I thought they were going to be another niche product. You know, they've changed it. They've changed the wrestling world, and I think it's such a shame that some of our peers are so scared of looking like, you know, fanboys that they keep pretending it's not impressive. It's incredibly impressive. They sold out our fresh stadium.
It's impressive, bro. It's impressive. Like, for them to get, first of all, the backing from Warner Media, the money backing, and the extension 1 year into their product, or one and a half year into their product, to get an extension from a major like that. That just goes to show you how much the network is satisfied with the product, and it's only going from there. And the thing is, like, even with Vince McMahon, when he made those comments on the media on the conference call, when he was like, "Oh, I guess we'll just can't keep handing them over stars." I'm like, you're not even realizing what you're doing. Like, I think that he thinks that Tony Khan is going to run out of money or something like that, or like he's like going to end up, you know, running into some money problems. Like, the thing is, you keep throwing him the Kevin Owens, Garganos. You keep booking these shitty women segments. I'm like, look, okay, so I'm a big fan of Kevin Owens, big fan of Gargano. I like Gargano. I like all those guys.
Yeah.
The way they keep going with these women's segments, like they keep treating the women's division like as second hand.
Yeah.
That is when it's going to hit WWE when it hurts. Like, I'm telling you, when it comes like contract season for like a Naomi or maybe a, you know, just hypothetically a Sasha Banks, you know, not saying that she would leave, but now they have those other options. They don't have to stay there. And like, when it starts hitting the women's division, like, I feel like that's when WWE is going to be like, damn. You know, lost grip, because like when you look at some of the women's talents, man, these are like some of the most popular athletes in WWE. Like, when you look at it from a social media standpoint, 5 million, 6 million followers on both platforms.
Honestly,
man.
Andrew, I think they have more main event stars in the women's division than they do men. I really believe that.
They do.
I think they've got 6 or 7 that I consider main event stars. They probably have 2 or 3 men at this point that I would consider main event stars, you know? So I know, I completely agree. And that's their big advantage right now, is the women, and they're not using it because they don't treat them that way.
Okay.
It's a shame.
Okay, can you imagine if a Naomi were to make the jump to AEW? Like, I don't know exactly how she will be booked, but I know the popularity that she has and the fan base that will follow her over to AEW. Like, dude, or follow her elsewhere. Not even just AEW, but like man, when the head to head like started, as far as like, I mean, because NXT was already thrown head to head against AEW, and anybody that legitimately says that they weren't thrown there to throw off AEW, you're lying. Like,
yeah, they're
like, let's be fucking real for a minute. They threw NXT right there to offset AEW, and AEW just, but they had the high crowd every week. Like, you can't compare 9,000 to 10,000 to 11,000 people in an arena going crazy to 500 people in Full Sail. No. You just can't. Like, the Full Sail crowd is great. They made so many moments for NXT, but you can't compare that to an arena full of people going nuts. It's impossible. You can't do it. So, like, and when the whole head-to-head started, I'm just talking about WWE and AEW, not NXT and AEW. Like, it's like, I hope, like, a part of me thought that WWE, the Raw SmackDown products, was going to rise to try to, you know, if NXT didn't do the job, then we'd do the job type thing. And it was like so inconsistent. It was like they'll have weeks when it was okay, and then they'll have weeks when it was good, and it just be bad for like 4 weeks straight, and then it'd be okay, and then it'd be good, and it'd be bad for another 4 weeks. And it's like they had at one point they had so many. Bro, it was at one point, Joe, and I know you agree, and Jeremy, I know you agree. WWE, they had probably one of the best talent rosters, like legitimate. Like, their talent roster, unreal. Like, and to see how most of these talents are gone. Some of these talents are gone that could have been main pieces, and WWE, they're such a machine that when things like that happen, they just like, okay, now we just got to put somebody else in this spot. Got to keep the wheel going.
That's the big thing, though, right? So we've seen the mass releases, and I mean this with love to the Iconics, who obviously, you know, they have a big night tonight, so good for them. But to me, the only like top talent they've let go on the women's side, this is just from memory, so if I'm forgetting someone, I apologize, is Ruby. And like, look how big a star Ruby feels in AEW. Okay? Now the big thing for me is, and this is not me speculating on anyone's employment, but I'm intrigued by it, is if the mass releases continue into 2022, do we start to see some of the bigger female stars, some of the ones that have the big followings that you were talking about, do they start to be some of the names that get released. And the only reason that's interesting to me is I think that could be one of the biggest tactical errors they could make. But I think they are so arrogant that it wouldn't surprise me if they did that, you know? Because we've all seen it, guys. Like, they've called up how many women from NXT in the last few months? Someone's got to...
Zaya Lee, Aaliyah.
Tegan, Shotzi.
Just name a few. Tegan, yeah, Shotzi. Yeah.
Tony Storm, you know, and here's the thing, those women aren't on TV for a reason. Someone's get those, they're not just going to add an ad, someone's going to leave. Like,
yeah,
that's something that and I know we shouldn't talk about this because it's terrible, it's people's employment, I get it, but it is interesting, right? Like, they've got a lot of big male talent, but Ruby to me is the only one that's like a top on the women's side, so it's interesting.
So here's a name, and it's probably the name everyone's thinking of again. God forbid anybody loses their job. If Liv Morgan gets released, she walks into AEW and is immediately presented as like
the top page.
Yeah,
it's gonna look so bad. It's gonna look so bad on there, bro. Not AEW, but WWE.
Yeah, because everyone like Liv has a very big online following. Like, people wanted her to win the Queen's Crown and were very upset with the way that played out. Yeah, she is very similar to Ruby, and maybe even more so, because I see way more support for Liv than I ever saw for Ruby. Like,
absolutely,
she's very similar to Ruby, and like, she's not being treated very well in WWE. She's got a lot of online support, and she goes to AEW.
She's young.
Yeah, she goes to AEW. They're immediately going to put her. Anthony Green versus Bobby Fish has been added to tonight's Dynamite. I love when I can pop Joseph with like just Tony Khan will randomly add a match like 2 hours before Dynamite.
Dude,
like, yeah, sure. Why wouldn't you do this match?
This Bobby Fish thing is experimental, brother. I respect it. He's decided Bobby Fish is going to be a television star again, baby. We're doing it.
You got a fan of Bobby Fish?
I actually like Bobby
Fish. Not a fan, like.
I like him. It's just funny, right? Like, what's funny about it is he was the release that I was like, yeah, he probably doesn't need to go to AEW, and he's been on their TV now 3 weeks in a row or something.
See, the thing about this is like, I feel like Tony, like he said this, like we all know this. He's a fan of pro wrestling, like it's well known thing. I feel like he looks at somebody and he will be damned if he does not find a use for that person. Like that, I think that's just how he views certain things. And Bobby Fish, what is Bobby Fish, like 44, 45? I feel like Tony Khan is looking at Bobby Fish like, dude, I know you got like at least 3 more years in you, and while we have you, we're going to get the most out of those 3 years. Like, and that's just going to be the thing, and give you your big sayonara when that time comes. Like, and
I also
and then you
think
just mix those in. Oh, you good?
I think they're getting him ready for. I keep speculating on this. People think I have a scoop, but I don't. I'm just guessing. I think he's tag. I think his tag partner's coming in pretty soon. I'm pretty.
Jeremy literally said that. Like a couple hours ago, he was just like, but like,
yeah, O'Reilly's out.
Kyle O'Reilly did not sign up for this shit, bro. He did not sign up.
If you look at their tag division, and if you add Red Dragon to that mix, like, so to me, what they're doing is they're just like this. I could be completely wrong about this, you know, but I just think they're establishing Bobby as an important piece so that when Kyle comes in, they can be a top team for a little bit, because they were a great team. I haven't seen the team for a while because stuff happened, but. And that's what's actually happened. But I agree with you. Even if not, I agree with you completely. Like, there's a use for guys like Bobby Fish, man. There really is. Like, look at how they use Matt Sydal. It's perfect. You know, you get great matches out of him. He doesn't have to win, but it's great.
Joe, do you think Roddy coming in? You think you see Roddy coming? You think he's staying?
Oh God, if Roddy comes in, Joseph's gonna.
Yeah, you know, they're gonna.
Bro,
Andrew.
Is the worst king. I just want to say that he is the worst great king.
Oh, he's the greatest. Oh my God. He's gonna be the only guy from NXT that doesn't come in just to rib me. He'll stay there forever.
hey, no, for real though. Like, I legitimately wouldn't mind seeing Roddy Strong as Impact World Champion.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't complain about that. Like, I can only imagine. Like, I feel like they would present him the exact same way they present Josh Alexander. Like, just go out there and let him wrestle. He'll get over.
Yeah, he is. What about him and Gresham in Ring of Honor? You know. Listen, I do this as a bit with Roderick Strong and people like. See, honestly, he's probably one of the most underrated wrestlers ever. He's been great for like 15 years now, 16, 17 years. He's such a great pro, man. Like, if you look at him physically, he looks the same as he did in, his prime. Like, I don't know if you saw the match he had with Odyssey Jones, Andrew.
Yeah, I saw it. I watched it. 205 Live match, right?
Yeah, and like, what a great pro. Like, Odyssey Jones is this guy that has so much talent, but obviously he's so new, right? And like, Roderick Strong built this match around making him look awesome. It was just so cool. Like, people always laugh at me because I love the work rate dorks, but like, every roster needs a guy like Roderick Strong, And like Matt Sydal, he's similar to that.
You need your Draymond Green.
There you go. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You need your Draymond Green.
It's interesting. But I do think genuinely, I think Ciampa and Roddy are going to be the guys that stay, and they're going to be like player coaches in NXT. I think everyone else, I think, is leaving that has kind of been a star there. I think, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's gonna be like. So if we had to make like just a like from the women's division, I think probably the first person will probably. A part of me wanted it, like I think that's just something personally I wanted to see like Io Shirai, but I don't think she would leave. But I think that was just more so a personal thing. I just wanted to see her elsewhere, like because I don't think I feel like all the sort of original NXT talent, I don't really think they fit in this
absolutely
NXT 2.0. Like Pete Dunne, like but he signed a new deal, so
yeah, Dunne's not going anywhere.
Good luck, Pete. Good luck, pal.
Like I don't know what that was about, but I mean, you gotta make the right decision for yourself. Like I try to be, even with some of my wrestling opinions, but I try to like. Of course, I want to see Pete Dunne do other stuff, but like I got a family. You know what I'm saying? He probably settled. He didn't move from the UK that long ago. Probably still somewhat settling into America and stuff like that. I mean, he probably is already. I don't fucking know that dude, so he probably already used to it, but like. You try to be objective about certain stuff like that when it comes to people's personal decisions. But of course, I would want to see him elsewhere. But like, I mean, like you essentially think that I thought that he was gonna get called up with Ridge. That's what I thought was gonna happen. I thought he was gonna go to SmackDown, and I thought that'd been cool. Maybe, they probably had him doing some dumb shit, but
Yeah, he's an interesting one. He's a great wrestler, but there's certain limitations there that I don't know that WWE will ever get around them. I think the size is the obvious one, which doesn't bother me, but definitely bothers them. The promo is a challenge. It's just a challenge for him. Like it isn't, and the accent I think is one thing for people. I obviously understand him. He's a Brit, but. I can imagine American folks, my American pals, you guys being like, what the fuck is happening to Pete Dunne's voice? That's just the way the Brummies talk, bless them, it's their thing. But I think his biggest problem as a promo is he never looks very confident, He needs a mouthpiece, I think. But then you end up in a position where it's like, if you give him a mouthpiece, can you push him as like a top heel? Well, I don't know. Depends who he's wrestling with, right?
Like, but WWE, man, they it's like they don't believe in the pure concept of just, hey, if you let somebody go out there and wrestle, there's a chance that they might get over just on that alone.
No, they don't believe in that.
It's like, dude, there are so many people. Like, so I was talking. This is not related to what I just said, but this is like it just came to my head. I wanted to say it before I forgot it. Like, I wanted to ask both of y'all, Jeremy and Joe. Like, I'm optimistic about Hit Row. I really am, but I feel like it's going to be a clash between their individual talents as far as promo stuff, and then WWE's just bad booking, which I know is going to come their way eventually. Like it never fails. Andrew, I feel like there's going to be a clash there. What?
I know you saw the PW Insider like rundown of the roster thing where they said like Swerve and Adonis were going to be the tag team and Top Dollar was going to be the singles guy. Like, I think that fucks over Hit Row immediately.
See, bro. Like the thing is, we know out of Hit Row, and this is no slight to anybody else in the group, but Swerve's the guy.
Yeah.
Swerve's the guy. We all know Swerve's the guy. He's been a great wrestler for many years. Like, I still remember that match he had with Riddle at the Evolve show. Like, they beat the shit out of each other. It was either Evolve or MLW, one of them. I think it's Evolve though. But like, Swerve is clearly the guy in the group, the most experienced out of the group, and like, I think it's gonna be a thing of like, I just hope that they don't go the route of like, they feel like one is going to be better off without the group, and then they just end up leaving Hit Row as Swerve, Ashanti, and then Brianna or B-Fab. Like, I can definitely see them trying to break off Top Dollar, and he's great on the mic. He can talk. Dude can hold his own on the mic. You can't take that away from him. He can go on the mic. But see, I feel like they're so good as a group. They're talented as a group, and they've only been together for what they debuted in like May.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're fresh. Like, and it's hard to like sort of put that good faith into WWE creative, or more so you should say Vince McMahon, because you just don't know how most of these talents gonna turn out. Like, it's, you know,
absolutely,
it's crazy.
Yeah, the Hit Row thing's really difficult because I'm torn on it. Like, Swerve's one of my favorite guys there. And I think, especially as a heel, I actually think Swerve can be like a genuine main event guy. Like, he has such a great edge as a heel, and he's a good promo, and his matches are great. The Hit Row act is like, I change my mind on it every time I see it. Like, I'm a big hip hop head, but like, when they rap sometimes, I'm like, I don't know if I think this is better or worse than if they didn't rap, you know? You know, like, and that may be just a me thing, but like, it's hard, right? Like, sometimes they're coming out there and rapping, and it's like, gee, good lord, who wrote this shit?
Not like, see what that is like. I think that's just more so of what appeals to different people, opposed to like for me, when I see the hero stuff, and I see them come out rapping, I think that shit is cool. I like seeing people present sort of like I've always wanted to see sort of a hip hop related act on wrestling that wasn't some like corny ass shit or some like white dude, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've always wanted to see something like that. So like, for me, I'm looking at Hit Row, I'm like, oh, this shit is cool. Like, they're being themselves on TV, bro. Like, of course turned up to a certain level, but they're still being able to be authentic and not have to, like, you know, have it, like I said, be some like other fucking like white dude like coming out to the ring rapping or some shit like that. No, I want to see that bullshit, bro. I don't want to see that. Like, but now for them to have that opportunity, but like, the thing is with WWE and their booking, it's like, it's sort of that clash thing, and I'm hoping they sort of get the same sort of broke the pull that New Day had or has, where they're able to like sort of like, it's been made clear by New Day that Vince McMahon sort of like lets them, you know, hey, I want you guys to touch on this, and, you know, he lets them go about it however they get to it. I think that's the best ways for Hit Row to be presented, and I don't feel like not you, Joe or Jeremy, but like them trying to present Top Dollar as better than as the head guy over everybody else. I feel like you need to present them all as equals, and I feel like that's the way to fully get the group over. And then if you feel like one is overtaking the other, then you can sort of go that route of presenting that de facto leader. And I think that's honestly Swerve, but I don't think they view Swerve like that. I don't think they're going to view Swerve like that. I think they view Top Dollar as, because he's a bigger guy. Like, when you look at Hit Row, like if you saw Hit Row like walking down, like Top Dollar's the biggest guy, so you're immediately going to look at him and be like, oh, that must be the leader or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as wrestling goes. So it's weird, bro.
I like I like the like aesthetic of what they're going for. Like, I love the idea of it, you know. I don't know. It's hard. I don't know. It's like, I watched their entrance on SmackDown because I'm rooting for that act because, again, I love Swerve. But I watched it and was like, I don't know if this is
Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, sometimes, you know, I'm watching it, and especially because the way they shoot stuff, like, it's such a bright product too, right? Like, it looks like a cartoon show, SmackDown. And like, they come out and they're rapping, and like, they're cutting it. They're cutting the camera cuts are every 4 seconds. And like, poor B-Fab says she's like, cut the music, and they don't cut the music. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, Yeah, and I'm just like, I don't know if this is good or not. You know, like, it kind of pops me because, like, I get what they're going for. You know, that makes sense. But, like, if you... I'm not going to do the casual fan thing, but I don't know what the WWE viewer is going to think of them, which is, you know, a pretty heavy subject because there's many reasons for that. But, you know.
But I was thinking about that last night. And not necessarily, like, it was just like, you gonna debut them in, like, Wichita,
right,
like, Kansas. Like, it was, but, like, bro, I'm genuinely, like, optimistic about here. I feel like they're gonna, they can do good things, but it's just the booking, man. It's like I just don't know.
I get that.
Like, how they're going to be presented, but I'm admittedly optimistic about them, bro. Like, I just want to see them do good because I feel like I know they can do good, but it's just like, man, WWE, they just do not have a solid track record, and like,
yeah,
I can only. I'm trying to imagine Vince McMahon, like,
exactly
conversations.
Yeah, because, you know, that's the thing. Like again, I understand. Look, whether I think their reps, whatever, like, whether it's good or bad, they're doing their thing. Like, Swerve raps, I appreciate it, right? And so does Top Dollar, as far as I know. But, like, I know what they're going for, and there's no way that, like, Johnny Ace understands what they're doing. Like, there's no clue he gets what's going on there, right? And he's like, how are they going to be presented is the big concern, as you said, and I don't know. I just hope that it goes well for Swerve's sake. The thing with Top Dollar is, like, he's great as a heater, but him as, like, a singles guy right now would be insane.
No.
Like, there's no way you can pull that shit off, man.
No, but the thing is, I also think that comes down to who you got in that writing room. Bro, when you got 2 60-year-old dudes, 70-year-old dude trying to, like, produce, like, that sort of early, like, late 20s to early 30s group, hip-hop related, they don't know what the fuck that, like, especially, like, bro, we've heard so many stories about Vince, bro. Like, it's, you know, it's like comical at this point. Like, he you know what I'm saying? Like, it's ridiculous. And, like, him, Bruce Pritchard, like you said, Johnny Ace, I know he's not a creative, but, like, still, but, like, when you, but these are, like, and I'm pretty sure half of the people in that fucking writing room is white, if we being real. You know what I'm saying? And, like, I'm pretty sure, like, I'm not saying that some people in that room may not be able to understand, but, like, it's impossible for them to fully understand the Black experience and, like, being able to relate and pass that on and be like, hey, maybe y'all should do this instead of this. Because it's like, it's going to come off like, what the fuck do you know? You know what I'm saying? And not in a disrespectful way. It's just like, what do you know? And, like, I feel like that's why I think it's just going to be best if they just let Hit Row do their thing. Give them bullet points. Get this. How do you get to it? You do that. And then we're going out about our way. Like, but I don't think they're going to do that.
My concern is this, okay? If they're baby faces, I think inevitably the content is going to be forced to become really corny. And that worries me. But if they're heels, I do not trust the WWE to present a group of black folks correctly as heels. You know, I'm sorry, I do not want to hear what Michael Cole describes them as when they get the heat on some poor white lad in the ring. I just don't. I'd imagine that would go very poorly. There was some of the stuff that Escobar said in his promos that went that way. I don't know if you guys saw some of that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And I do not trust. I certainly don't trust them with that.
It was like they was like really towing the line.
Yes. Like
with some stuff, and like even Hit Row was sort of doing some of the like sort of the same thing, but like it was
absolutely
It was just like. I mean, for me personally, I'm pretty sure there were some people who enjoyed it, but me personally, I was just like, I ain't really feeling that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's different ways you can go about that without trying to involve certain lingo and like calling people like thugs and shit like that. I'm like, all right, let's
It's a shame because I think the act would work better as heels initially. I just don't trust them to do it. Does that make sense? Like, I think if they do it, we're going to hear thugs and we're going to hear that shit, and you know, that's the opposite of what this act needs to be. But I I get it. I get the concerns completely. I think Swerve's ceiling is big time.
You can even relate that to the old NXT days when people used to speak like Sasha's ratchet.
Right.
Like that whole chant. Like people use the term. I'm pretty sure both of y'all see this often. Like it was a different time. Where it was like people who say that kill me, bro, because they act like it was like normally in some of that context it's like, oh yeah, people act like this shit was like the 1980s.
Yeah, it was 5 years ago.
Like fucking
but the problem is, and this is the truth, is a lot of the people involved in these shows and a lot of people sitting in the crowd, they have no understanding of these topics, you know? So, like, I could 100% see Bruce Pritchard calling the Hit Row guys, like, having them be called thugs and not even getting why that's offensive. Like, he's an idiot. He doesn't know what's going on. Listen to some of his social views. He doesn't have a fucking clue.
Bro, did you happen to see Jerry Lawler's recent comments when he was like, why he didn't understand why he said the ramen noodle moonsault comment wasn't racist?
Well, he should be in prison. He's a criminal.
But that's like a prime example of like what you just said, even relating to Bruce Pritchard. Like these are like 60, 70-year-old dudes who, in Lawler's case, who grew up in the South, racist all hell. They're like internally racist, and like they don't even know.
Yeah. Like
it's just not like certain ideologies and certain thoughts that they have. They can't even realize that the shit they're saying is racist. Like you literally were calling a match for a Japanese athlete, and he did a dive to the outside, and you called it a ramen noodle moonsault, and then questioned why. He said he was like, "How is that racist?" I'm like, "Of course you don't think it's racist," but like think about because he has no other like worldly perspective of how that can be perceived. Like it's ridiculous, bro.
No, they're that generation, and they're that mindset of, well, I don't treat them differently when I speak to them in person, so I can't be racist, right? They're that deal, and it's like that's not how it fucking works. Like that's not the.
Oh my goodness, bro.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's going to be, the Hit Row is going to be a real case study to see how far they've come in there. Because let's be fair, WWE has done a much better job of representation over the last, how long would you say, Andrew? 5 years?
I would give them credit with due.
Yeah.
They have done a job of spotlighting more black talents, more Japanese talents, more.
And it's about time, to be clear. Right, yeah.
Yeah. I give them props on that. Like, even seeing Big E win the title, bro, that was so damn cool. And like, it's always cool. Like, of course, even him being him Rock, Kofi, and Bobby, like, seeing Big E win the title, bro, it was like a real special moment to a lot of people, including myself. It was just really cool to see him get that moment, and then at that to see the amount of like people that came out in support of him. Like, bro, it was like people from every different company, bro, like coming out showing this dude hella love. Like that speaks more to Big E as an individual more than anything.
He's the
greatest. Honest with you, like,
he's the greatest. Like he's the best.
Like, yeah, bro, it was so cool to see him get that moment, man. And I was when I did the post show with John, I was talking to him about it, bro. It's just like cool to see, like, finally, like, him being able to reach that point in his career, because I think a lot of people, they were saying like they think this should have happened years ago, and like even Big E, he was like, I kind of agree with Big E in this point. He was like, he kind of, even though it could have happened a long time ago, he felt like now was like the right time. Like it legitimately felt to him like the right time, and like even when they split New Day in the draft, which I never really understand why they do that, but
they don't.
I mean, to me, I do like Big E on his own, but like I also don't understand why they choose to like go the route of like not having the option of a 6-man tag with New Day. Like I just don't get it. I really don't get it. But I also do enjoy Big E on his own, because like when you seen with Drew, he could do it on his own. he can clearly do it on his own. Now what I'm worried about is they got Brock Lesnar roaming around as a free agent. That shit, I'm like, that's in the back of my head every time I see Big E, and I think that's more so having to do with just how Kofi lost. And I'm like I could be thinking about it in my head, like, okay, Brock's a free agent, Big E's by himself on Raw. Dave might go that route, like, and I don't really know what to think about it, but I think Big E, he's really shown that he can do it on his own. He really has. So, and I'm proud of him, bro. He's doing it.
I've said for the long. I think he should be the face of the company. I've said that. I think he's really quite special if you actually look at what he presents. Because even little things like the way that he talks about mental health and how just personable he is and how beloved he is in the industry, like, he's the perfect top guy, right? Like, who wouldn't want to work with Big E? He's a hero. He's great, and his in-ring is more than up to it. His promo, it goes without saying, he has range. He's a guy that you can send to do late-night talk shows, and he's going to come across like the funniest, most charismatic guy in the room.
Yes.
Look how great he was at the, to doing the boxing entrances. And look, I get a lot of stuff wrong, Andrew, as you know, but this is something that I've said this for years. Like, this is what he should be. He's the best. My concern for Big E is, what is his match at WrestleMania? Because when I go down that route, I end up kind of thinking he's not going to be the champ by WrestleMania, and that worries me.
Yeah.
I don't know what
who's beating him for the title then.
Well, I think Seth is. I think they're going to want to get that belt back on Seth at some point, because God forbid he doesn't be champion. And he'll probably work Randy Orton or something in a fresh matchup.
I do not want to see, bro. I remember even before. I am going to cut you off, Joe, but like even before when he won the title, like when they was like sort of building up to it with the Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why I do this to myself, but like I was just at the mindset of like, oh, well, maybe they'll build up a Ricochet and then we get that match, and then I was just like, I'm laughing at Jeremy talking about, but bro, like, they literally have so many people that could be lining up for Big E right now. Like, can you imagine giving Big E and Ricochet 20 minutes to go out there and work, and like what they could do, handcuffs off? Like, they'd be able to present something really special. I really think they could. Yeah. But instead, I think we're going to get exactly what you said. We'll get an Owen program.
Yep.
That's going to happen. We're going to get an Owen program. And like, now that you said it, it's probably going to be Seth Rollins, more than likely. Like, I honestly, but I want Big E to hold the belt to WrestleMania or through WrestleMania. I feel like he can do that.
Absolutely.
But I feel like WWE, man, they just like they view certain people within like certain brackets.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not on that top tier, then anything beyond 2 to 3 months, they're not thinking about you. Like, I feel like with this Roman thing, like they legitimately had this thing mapped out. Like, I'm not saying like years, but like I feel like they had like at least 2 months ahead of the game with the Roman stuff. Like, I feel like they know where they're going with this Roman situation. And like, can you imagine how different the product would be if you would allow people to have that same sort of freedom and that same sort of like room to stretch with their promos and their matches like that Roman has? Like, it's like they literally have the blueprint right in their face, but it's like, oh no, only he can do that, not you guys. Like,
well, yeah, because they're not the ones. Yeah. The truth is, I don't think they're the ones doing the Romans. I think that's Heyman and Roman, and that's why it works, right?
That's true.
I think left to their own devices, I think they can fuck anything up. They can manage to tread in shit on any trail. They're bad at it, but no, I agree with you. My biggest fear is that the Raw title is headed to Orton so that he can drop it to Riddle. That scares the shit out of me.
God.
Because that feels like something they would do, and I'm not, for many reasons, I'm not keen on that. I don't know. The Big E thing worries me because it took them a long time to see it, so it makes me think they still haven't fully seen it. Does that make sense? I would like, I don't mind Big E not having that belt at WrestleMania as long as he's beating Roman for the other belt. You know, that appeals to me because I still think Roman. There's no one that can beat Roman to me other than Big E. That's the play. Like, so, but I guess Rock is looming or something. So I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out how did we not get the Big E Goldberg match?
I think you're gonna get it.
Oh yeah, you know what? I'm gonna take that back.
I told Joseph yesterday. I think that's the Rumble match. I think Big E Goldberg's happening.
That's a good call. That's a good call. That's a good. Jeremy, didn't Goldberg say he had like 2 more matches on his current deal?
Yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, you're right. That's a good call. But I was just looking at the I was about to mention the AEW women's division. Like I was looking at their roster, bro. Their women's division is so young.
Yes.
Like everybody's like 21 to 29.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is ridiculous. But like as I was scrolling, I came across this individual, bro, and we need to have a conversation about this man because I legitimately cannot believe how he is completely like just turned around. I'm trying to pull up his picture so I can be more dramatic with it. Give me a second, but like
oh no. Okay, there it is. I can't even tell who that is. Cedric?
Miro.
No,
Miro.
It's definitely not Cedric.
I can't tell. I thought he was doing the WWE thing.
But bro, Miro's run, like, and Joe and Jeremy, I know y'all can kind of agree. It kind of got on to like a semi-rough start, like with the Kid Sabian. It was like and then like immediately when they just started, they just started leaning into like him, just like, okay, like look, dude, you are like clearly superior to most of these people, so like just let's go ahead and act like it. And then like now this dude is like and now to the point like I'm sort of like thinking back, like was them taking the title off Miro a good idea?
No.
Like, cause now it's just like what do you do with this dude now? Like he was so great as TNT champion.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be one of the big pay-per-view, matches for Hangman, right? Feels like it. Feels like you're gonna get Hangman and Miro for the world title at some point next year. I agree with you though. Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
AEW is interesting in that sense, right? I don't want to say they have too many guys, but they do have a lot of guys, and it is hard to keep everyone, in the picture because they protect almost everyone, which makes it a really weird roster. Like, if we sat down and listed guys in AEW that we think matter, we would legitimately get to like 30 names. That's a lot of people. Like that isn't traditionally how wrestling's done. It feels like Miro should be the world heavyweight champion, but their roster's built different and they have other stuff going on. But I agree with you. Like, the Sammy thing was interesting. I like Sammy Guevara, but it almost came out of nowhere, that whole angle. And I don't think it was the initial plan, to be honest with you. I think they changed some stuff. I think him and Kingston were supposed to run.
I think Sammy's going to drop it. That would have been cool.
Yeah, I think they were supposed to.
Hey, Joe, did you think that Kingston was going to win the title at the Arthur Ashe show? Like, I'm talking about months ago. Like,
I'll be honest with you, man. I think that was like the actual plan. I think the Suzuki thing, they changed stuff. That's my belief. I don't know. It's not a scoop, but if you remember after All Out, the Dynamite after All Out, they did a vignette where Kingston and Miro continued their feud, and then it was never touched again because they instead pivoted to Suzuki and Archer versus Mox and King. You know what Kingston is like, and look, you got me saying this is telling because he's my favorite wrestler, but like he doesn't really need any belt, right? Like he's just kind of like he's Eddie Kingston, like he's fine. Like Sammy Guevara needs it a lot more than him, so I get it. I would like Eddie Kingston to win tonight so that I can see him wrestle Bryan Danielson, but that's just me talking bias.
I think Sammy gonna drop the TNT title to Hobbs.
I think that's
who he gonna drop. Yeah. I think that's who he gonna drop the title to. I feel like they've been building Hobbs. Like I don't know, with like even with the Orange Cassidy loss last night, I would honestly prefer that they would have had somebody else do that shit instead of Hobbs. But I'm of the belief, and I want to believe that Moxley is legit about to just run through everybody in this tournament until he gets to Danielson in the finals. Like I think that's he's about to squash everybody. Like, so I mean, I would rather that be Orange than Hobbs, obviously. But I mean, like with Hobbs, man, even with him, and like when you brought up Brian Cage earlier, Like he came in and like just straight up like just outshined.
There you go.
And it wasn't even a thing of like more TV time or being presented in a better light. He just stood out more than Cage did. Yeah. And I feel like what they thought Brian Cage was going to be in Team Taz is what Haas actually is.
He's an example of it. Yeah. He's the perfect example of that.
Yeah, I think that they think that that's what Brian Cage was going to be, and that's how Brian Cage is going to come off. And then here comes Hobbs, and it's like, oh, that's the guy we've been looking for in this Team Taz thing.
I'm no scoopster, but I think it's pretty obvious that they like Hobbs a lot, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think, you know, if you look at some of the names that kind of he himself mentions helping him, I think it's very encouraging. I think the biggest challenge for Hobbs is like maintaining his kind of raw roughness in ring. We'll wrap up now. Sorry, Jeremy. Maintaining that physicality where he looks like he's killing guys, but also having like the AEW bangers that everyone has. You know, like that's the balance that he needs to find, because he has a presence unlike anyone else on the roster. He comes across like an absolute monster, man. He's tremendous.
He's great. He's great. Well, we got to let Jeremy go, man. We kept Jeremy overtime.
I apologize. I gotta go. Joseph, I mean, if you guys can go to latenightgrin.com and
I need to sleep. But I mean, we'll do it one day. Andrew would be great on the
Joe, whenever you do that Late Night Grin show, bro, let me know, bro, because me, you, and Jeremy, bro, this is working. This is working.
Well, we got our own channel now, Andrew, so we can kind of do whatever the fuck we want whenever we want. So
subscribe.
Yeah, we'll do something. I already told you about the one idea where we watch a match together and go through that. So at some point we will do that. Andrew, let everybody know where they can find you at.
Yeah, man, they can follow me on Twitter at @ADThompson__. Check out my written work over there. Post interviews at the Andrew Thompson Interviews YouTube channel. I'm hopefully going to be recording an interview this coming week, hopefully. So I had some of this week. The little channel, a little bit of refresher. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that out, man.
There you go. Everybody follow Andrew. Doing the news updates, doing the interviews, doing everything. Joseph, do you want to plug anything?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I would like to plug AEW Saturday Night Dynamite, airing at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on TNT. The Mad King, Eddie Kingston, taking on the Murder Hulk Monster, Lance Archer. The American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, taking on the Natural, Dustin Rhodes. There's other matches that I've forgotten, but that's what's going on tonight. You will also see the debut.
Malachi 3?
You will also see the debut of the Australian buzzsaw, Buddy Matthews. You'll see Bobby Fish doing what he does best.
Australian buzzsaw.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Are you?
Yes.
Are you doing a show after the show?
No, I'm not even going to watch live. I don't think. I think I'm going to get some.
Oh, that's right. Shoot's not watching live either. So
he's a fucking coward.
Yeah, true.
You can go to latenightgrinshop.com to buy your Fed Dead merchandise. You can go to latenightgrin.com and subscribe to watch the 10 hours of audio that I do behind a paywall. And other than that, I've got nothing to promote. No. Also, tune in on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on TNT for AEW Dynamite. Back in its usual time slot, guys.
JJ says plug Bound for Glory. I will plug the.
I don't know what that is. What's Bound for Glory?
It's Braun for Glory. JJ got the title wrong.
Braun for Glory.
Yeah. I'll plug
full disclosure. I'm going to make this is public now. This is an announcement, okay? If Lance Archer beats Eddie Kingston on Dynamite and Buddy Matthews debuts on Bound for Glory, I will officially rebrand for one day as an Impact Wrestling stan. Okay?
Yes, I will do what Luis says here, and I'll plug the Bound for Glory post show at 1 o'clock in the morning that Steven Jensen and I will be doing, which should be tremendous. We're going to raid Steven Larson. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Joseph, for coming on and bantering while I dominated in some NBA 2K.
Why wasn't I on camera?
I don't know, because I just didn't put you on camera.
The viewership would have spiked if I was on camera.
Probably.
Yeah.
I was doing a test to see like what the viewership would be with you on cam and what it would be with you off cam.
Did it go up with me off?
It went up when you just arrived, so.
Fuck, God bless, man.
Yeah, you're a draw.
Oh, that's just facts. We need to tell the people above our pay grade that that's the truth.
I don't have conversations with people above my pay grade.
Yeah, fair. Same.
I will. We'll rate Stephen Larson. They always rate us, so everyone go say hi to them. Tell them what's up. Send you over to them. Enjoy your night, everybody. A lot of wrestling tonight. A late night for some people, and hopefully everyone just has a good Saturday night. You guys take care.